decision going to be made? Cloak wins.
The tick out, top left corner, Chopsticks ticks out to the storm. Cloak barely survives. Shatang dropped down after hitting the launch pad, hit his head, fell back down to just barely, intentionally, but just barely touched the edge of the platform where the launch pad was. Ended up taking fall damage on that of misstep. Can we play that back at 25% speed? So much happened there. Golden Boy, please help me.
All you have to do is get a siphon.
I mean, one thing is for certain though, it's very clear. Like Shadow Bomb, late game Shadow Bomb, bro. That's what.
Hey, no, okay, yeah.
Okay.
So
All right, let's talk about that.
We'll break it down real quick. So what happened? Cloaksy at max health had the campfires on the high ground.
Yes.
He puts his campfires down. Tfue decides to jump off intentionally with the rift because he's going down to try and pull everyone else
he's gonna pull
up
so that he can shoot him
then
up.
Cloaksy can shoot. The issue is Tfue popped his rift slightly early, missed Chopsticks. So the guy didn't get pulled off with him. Chopsticks is now on the low ground. Tfue ends up fighting that 1v1, gets downed by Chopsticks. So Cloaksy is forced to go down because if Chopsticks gets the siphon and gets the thirst, he now has the HP advantage because he can just wait that tick out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't end up going through because Cloaksy drops down, used the Shadow Bomb, puts pressure on Chopsticks, walls off Tfue, so he can't get the siphon. Cloaksy and Tfue get the victory royale.
That is ridiculous. And also, by the way, Sundown, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, and actually, I'm just getting word now. We got a quick replay of that.
All right, let's do it again. Let's run.
So
as they say in the FGC, baby, run it back, baby, run it back.
Right on top of that, right away. So, as we can look, it comes
go, Lupo. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're starting. This is the package first. So we'll start with my breakdown package. We'll get into this. We'll get it at the end of it. So first, the highlight of Reverse and Ninja, just going at it, taking advantage of their edit peaks and catching every point. We saw it in EU. It came down to the difference of the victory royales. Every one of these points is going to matter if you want one of the top three. So much so, owning that floor, Yoipi got to muscle up better there. Reverse making you look a little silly. And now here, there, Ninja staying with his partner, following the tracking, and they are relentless, not letting this player go down to the storm, making sure they get the tag. And again, we talked about the pace of Fortnite, how quickly you can be in a match, how quickly you can be rotating and trying to get there, and then all of a sudden, you're gone. The rifle fire here from Outlet, picking up Vinny. And again, it's one shot, headshot going through, and Turkey Lips right on the other side of it immediately. Parallax, Benzo, Golden Boy, one of our favorites.
I know, it's unfortunate, but Turkey Lips, another one of our favorites, so I think that goes without saying. And then our number one, when we did the check-in earlier, Saf and Zayt. This is a duo that is very, very scary for a lot of these players to have to contend with, and for due reason. I mean, look at what they're doing. Look at the damage that they're laying out there in the field. It is ridiculous.
And this is so clinical. Again, Saf, without Zayt there, making sure getting it done on his own and getting that quick elim, set himself up to then challenge down from the high ground advantage, getting the shot and then just waiting it out. Gets the siphon and he outlasts the opponent. Just clinical coming out from him there.
Usually
absolutely clinical.
We don't have four people up here, but like,
that was crazy.
What did I
we gotta get out of our seats for that one.
Dude.
I thought I saw one thing.
Just come on up.
Sundown seen everything from a third perspective. It was so intense, even I couldn't break it down in the situation.
Did you see that play?
Yeah.
Did you see that play?
You're late, Zeke. We already. Come on, man.
Dude, we're gonna see it again.
Yeah. Are we gonna run it back? Because I believe we might.
I heard a little birdie say that. I don't know if that's gonna be the case anyway.
Okay, we do.
We are gonna.
My main man punches in the ear, says we have it. So here you go, Sundown.
So Tfue had already dropped down. Now he's challenging straight up with Chopstick. Ends up getting picked up from the fall damage. So now Cloaksy is up there with nothing but the campfire. Uses the Shadow Bomb to drop down, but is walled off Tfue. Chopsticks tries to get the thirst, but too late. Cloaksy looking for anything he can, and he doesn't quite pick it up. And I mean, again, every point matters. That +3 right there for Cloaksy and Tfue, just trying to get it. I mean,
difference of seconds, by the way, just to kind of throw that out there. That's why Fortnite is such an incredible game to watch, and it's such an incredible game to play, because it's about the micro decisions that you have to make there. Really trying to be as thoughtful and as why to use the word again, micro as possible. Right? It is a series of small decisions that lead to a big payoff that make this game so different in comparison to anything else that's out there. It truly is some incredible stuff. But I think we have some standings. So let's take a look. We got to get the show back on track here, people. Zeke, get out of here. Get out.
Zeke, help us out with this. You're already out here. Come on.
Okay, you might as well do your job. You're getting paid anyway.
Also, hey, top of the board right now, Pacifist, known as JT, somebody who you might not be as familiar with.
Those are two players we saw yesterday.
Did see them there at 52 points. I'm going to take one more step down here so you guys can make sure you see all the points over on the side. You got Brush and Sizlucky, the duo from Tempo Storm at 48. Zayt and Saf just behind them at 45. But they've been in the match for a while. That will update and take over once they finish that one. Cease and Elevate just on the outside looking in, because again, the top of Healy's hand right there, that's the bar, right?
I want to point something out, though. Look at Niddle and Posick. 7 matches remaining at 40 points. We saw them pick up a victory royale earlier on in that game where Ninja and Reverse picked up 2nd place. That is very impressive. That one victory royale, 7 games remaining, 40 points, sitting in 9th place. If they keep playing like that, they might be going to New York City Sundown.
Yep, Jacob Aki and Odyxenide right behind him there at 39. And again, the spread, not too much here. It's 13 points on this front page, and a lot of other people are right behind him, right in striking distance. And again, top 3, we're about halfway through in terms of matches plays, about halfway through in terms of time. I totally have a watch, I swear.
I was looking, I was like, you don't really have one, but I respect the effort. Also, by the way, if you're playing Fortnite, which, let's be honest, we know you are, you can just check out the standings as they happen in-game as well. And you can also take a look at some of the other games that people are playing, so you can look at the replays.
Yeah, you can look. There's a flashing red light next to the name. If that's the case, it means you can actually hop on in live with a less than 10-minute delay going in there, so you can see the matches in near actual time. You need to keep a little bit. Yeah, you need to make sure there's still a little bit of delay. BR, need to watch paths, all of that. But with that being said, you can also click on the match history, see all of them in there, make cool content, review plays, learn and stuff. I mean, it's
and
all
if
there.
you do that, make sure you use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, because we want to see the cool stuff that you create. Now it's time to send it back to Lupo and Monster for the call.
I need more. Give me more. Here we go. Turkey lips.
We're only halfway through, Dr. Lupo. All right, so that little breather we got there to bring ourselves back to earth, yeah, we're back.
So just so everyone is aware, Nate Hill, Funk Bomb, Tfue, Cloak, Ninja, Reverse, Turkey Lips, Outlet. These are all players
Posick
that are
and Niddle.
in this lobby.
They were all in the lobby.
Insane.
This is such a stacked lobby. You're talking just about the teams that are in the top 20 contention, knocking on top 10 door for New York City, right?
Learson in here as well. Tons of players. Ninja on rotation. We're going to drop in
11 HP.
Trying to find a landing zone that's going to be safe. Reverse also looking kind of grim right now. Both players very low. No healing in Ninja's inventory either. Not a whole lot of ammunition for in terms of medium or shoddy shells, but I would say heavy rounds looking pretty good. 77.
With Siphon in the game, even at 11 HP, this is not too bad with the ultimate high right here. He can bounce back off of a couple of Siphon elims. All he's got to do is find one here, as he is now raining down shots from above here. Ninja, 11 HP. Spaceline goes down on the side here. Seems like he falls to, what was TSM Myth in here? What are you on, NA East? What's going on? Whoa.
Not sure if that's
nice little surprise there. A fake?
Ayun in the feed, taking Jake out. Reverse on 38 HP, an infantry rifle in his hands. We've seen quite a bit of stellar performance there. 38. We got 33 points.
Cease eliminated Spaceline right there.
Yikes. Parallax on your screen, the duo there. Funk and Nate Hill all the way up top. Come back to Reverse here. Reverse and Ninja trying to find their way to either an elimination like this. Looks for it. The knock on Tfue.
It's on Tfue. Here comes the pressure.
Does this count as Ninja fighting Tfue?
Oh, get the videos ready. Get the videos ready.
Clips. Look for the revive. Reverse, if he drops in, if he knows about this, could apply
well, he can drop in.
There's stinks right there. Drop in, throw the stink. If he sees it, he can go for it.
Doesn't want to risk it. Cloak successfully revives Tfue right there as Reverse had the knock. Ninja goes down. He only had 11 HP. Not much he can do. One bullet was enough to take him out, as now Dynamite is being chucked from Mercy and Exhibit. Reverse is in the low ground here.
28,
Rifts
18.
out. Follows out Tfue and Ninja's Rift. catches a Rift. Now he's in the air. It's up to Reverse to really clutch up here and see if he can get top 15 at least.
18 HP, which means anybody could tag him one time. That actually might be Myth? East for duos. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe if production could confirm that is the same player ID, that would be very interesting to see that. Learson, Envy Scratch flying in above. Reverse.
Still in it.
3 builds. Saw an excellent performance from these two earlier. Now Ninja out and Reverse holding on by a string at this point. Turkey Lips in the feed, picking up an Elam.
Cease takes out Myth right there.
In the feed.
All right,
there's so much.
This everything unfolding right here as Reverse.
It is Myth.
This is the official Myth. Okay, so it really is Myth in here. So he's playing. Oh, was. Yeah, because
sorry.
Cease
you hate to see it,
took care of that. All right, Reverse. Can he pull off a miracle? As Ghost Kayun goes down right there. That's going to be 50 effective health if he can get the Thirst here. But instead, he decides to pull on the brakes and just wait just a bit. He doesn't want to overcompensate here. He knows there's a duo nearby. That Elam will be coming in shortly. Reverse still alive, pushing his way through to the ultimate low. Cloak is nearby. Cloak goes down by someone as well, as Reverse 2K is still on a rampage here.
Nate Hill in the feed took Cloak down. Middle taking Scratch G down. Nate taking, there's the finish on Cloak. The feed in the top left has an absolutely ridiculous amount of info in case you're trying to keep track of everything that's happening. There are so many players rotating at the same time. Look at the circle. There's still 20 duos left. 24 players. We're not even into placement points yet, and we're about to be facing the final circle where it closes, and that's all she wrote. Parallax goes down to Storm. Surge gets A. Reverse takes Benzo out.
And that was a trap too, right? They had the poison darts down just in case to catch that one right there. So that works out. Tifu's still in the game here. Vincento. Tifu's actually what looks like in a shadow bomb, hopping around the map here. Shadow bomb effect now ends as he is in the mid ground somewhere. Grove still has a baller somehow this late in the game, but placement point has been dished out. So everyone here has successfully, got some big points out of here as we're approaching the halfway mark of NA East right now for the qualifiers.
12 duos remaining, 14 total players, so only two full duos in here. I believe Nate Hill and Funk.
There it is. Grove hops out.
The shot.
Does catch the baller again, though. There goes a Rift. Grove in the low ground now, hopping around here. I know there are players nearby. He doesn't necessarily want to jump out just yet. Using the baller more as like a taunt, putting his body next to these players, looking for any squeaky opportunity to get in there.
The baller late game like this, when the circle's this.
Through the zone, catches Lyricin right there, Doc Lupo.
Very tough. A lot of bouncing in that thing, so you get forced out into the Storm quite a bit if you're a little too aggressive with it. Illis takes Cease out. Postic goes down to the Storm. 7 duos remaining, 8 players total. Grove looking to pick up a victory royale here for himself and Mad Scientist, who's already out. 2 eliminations. The loadout, maybe not optimal, but he's got a pump shotgun, he's got an AR, and he can pyramid himself in for defense if he needs to. Can't necessarily push up too much here. Players on rotation on the outside. Finds Gavector. Finds the elimination. Nate Hill takes Illis down the feed. Gets Funk down.
That's it. Now it's a 1v1. Can he make this shot right here? Because Funk is still knocked, so he will get the siphon soon. All he has to do is play it nice and slow here or push in. All right, so his health, siphon has gone off. Goes with the edit. It's a toe-to-toe. Trap goes off. Wait, there's still someone left, Dr. Lupo. That's a big shot right there. It was Middle.
Oh, my God.
Who's in the top 10. But gets taken out by Grove. I thought Funk was still down. I saw 3. It was actually 3 duos.
3 duos or 4
players.
Grove was out of the Storm, got the siphon kick, so he was able to stay out even longer and keep applying pressure through the same wall, even though the player inside, at that point, could have just said, all right, yeah, you're going to tick out. I'm just going to move on with life.
That was so intense. I was only focusing on the one cam. I'm not even sure if we had the overhead at that point, which we normally do. So that was crazy right there. Big game as Nate Hill and Funk make it all the way to that. Big placements for all those guys. Great game nonetheless. You're happy if you make it to top 3.
Especially in lobbies like this. You make it that far, you've got to feel good about that at the end of the day. Big pop in the feed, taking Rocane out, player we've seen a number of times in the past. Icons, Bob, hanging out here, already inside the safe zone. Going to finish Native out, crawling around out in the woods. You hate to see it, but an elimination is an elimination. So 98 builds, quite a bit of heals in there. 3 minis, 2 slurps. Curious to see what the duo's inventory also contains. But we're going to take a wider shot here and just look around. Dopai, a player we've seen quite a bit.
That's right, now on Denial. So Dopeye has lost Tubby W Keys, his duo, but he has those shadow bombs. He'll be okay for any kind of rotation he wants. He's looking to contest other players down here. He's got his eyes on some opponents nearby, and it looks like now, yeah, you know what? He's putting pressure on the ballers here. These are like small victories, right? You want to get any shots on these players you can. That right there, that counts as a mini in its own, right? 33 blues. He's effectively changing the course of the game with all the damage he's putting down. Now with the shadow bomb, he is off to the next zone here. This is perfect for rotating right here.
You can maintain those wall jumps in the shadow bomb. You get to make that thing last potentially an
even longer
infinite amount of time. I don't know if you noticed that, but like if there's a giant tower and you just keep wall jumping off of it, it doesn't go away until you touch the ground.
That's right. But Dopeye does get chipped right here, so in comes the mini. Thinks about popping the second one, but says, you know what, 8 HP, not necessarily worth it. You gotta optimize your heals in this situation, especially those are his last ones, right? He only has 1 mini and 5 bandages. 72 connects with the headshots back to back there. Player gets melted.
Big, literally, big hits there. Dopeye gonna finally use that mini, like you said earlier, and a couple bandages there. I don't know if that elimination is actually going to be converted. Probably not. Looks like the pickup is going to happen.
Revive is happening.
Flawless Hades from Ake all the way at the forefront here of the circle. While still in a baller.
Oh, his teammate also has a baller, so a lot of baller play here in NAE. Says they are playing as passive as possible. 0 eliminations for this team, so they're trying to gun for the 15th placement. Let's see how they end up using this, as we've already seen players get real cheeky with this thing and jump out and shotgun unsuspecting players, as someone's baller gets absolutely demolished over here. So that's a red flag for all these baller guys here. As you see, Prodigy Aces is floating around there now. Big Papa coming in on the launch pad, so is Cine. This is a nice little wide shot of everyone who's in the game here. If you see your favorite player, your friends, people you're supporting, Smokey Kovacs goes down, take clips, send them in, and use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup, guys. You can use the hashtag to get your favorite players featured. Get them some love, because that is all they want. This is crazy.
Hats off real quick to production. Literally the second you said hashtag Fortnite World Cup,
they saw it coming. They saw it coming.
On cue. On cue. You love to see it. Pacifist and JT here just beaming through windows, looking to pick up any elimination. I think I just heard production go nuts in the background. Love you guys.
Heard it from here.
32 players, 19 duos. We're almost at placement points. 4 more duos need to go down. Lulu in the feed, eliminated by Nugget. Hanson picking up Nugget immediately afterwards.
We already know Pacifist is way up there on the board. Now they're looking to extend that lead here as they just blaze down Ake, and they're both is JT and Pacifist. They want this high ground. It's theirs to take right now as Flawless goes down and Siphon does convert here, and Pacifist and JT now own the ultimate high ground here in the end game. This is their game right now.
What a perfect example of taking advantage of a situation. They knew they got the knock, they saw it, and so at that point immediately converting into an aggressive play, trying to ascend and take the high ground, and it pays off.
No hesitation. That's a difference in the pro gameplay.
Exactly. Immediate shift of gears all the way into onto your opponent's builds.
And look at this, as they're working together here, JT and Pacifist blaze some shots down. It's Dopeye who goes down to Pacifist and JT. They've straight up jumped on that box here, and they don't want to overcommit now. There are players trying to go for that high ground. Pacifist says, no, I'm going to block you out here. So now it's theirs to keep again, as it just came over this mountain.
Quite a few players down, stuck at the bottom. Javas gets eliminated. Clarity still down there. Big Papa takes out in the storm. Bob eliminated. Everybody going. Tons of players going down. Yeti knocked and immediately eliminated. Falcon with 2 eliminations, 20 points. Falcon and Adam, the meta. Quite a few minis.
He's got all the heals. No time in the world to pop it right now as the pressure is coming in. Is he going to use the Shadow Bomb to get on out of here? Because he is the focus point of the team just to his north right now. Out he goes. He catches some white damage here. It's Kevin who goes down. And that's another big elimination right there. It's going to keep him in the game right here.
7 players, 5 duos total. We're in the last set of placement points right now. So everybody in here picking up 7. The last 3 are going to go to whichever duo gets the victory royale, and it's gonna be a close one. Falcon on almost the ultimate low ground. Clarity is just below him, trying to sneak his way around. Doesn't want to give too much away. JT Pacifist from the top, starting to apply pressure. Drop down.
Dr. Football. Yeah, they gave him a good run for their money on the high ground, but now they say, you know what? We're gonna start pushing you guys back. They need this loot here. JT and Pacifist are super hurt. One took off to the racist pacifist, does get the convert right there, and JT is still in this game as well. It's the geyser that took him off.
Right on
that was a huge interference to the battle. Football's trying to come overhead. Will they hear him? He gets caught right in the middle. JT shotgun pump.
Falcon rotating on the outside.
What's he gonna do?
Unless
he's jumping on the lava.
Come on now.
It's over.
Give him a break. He was trying. Immediate. What's he gonna do?
What's he gonna do? He's bouncing on lava. He went the wrong way.
A tough situation. Taking the L there. JT, a little bit of a. It's a friendly emote, right?
That's pretty friendly, you know.
It's very friendly. We showed him
take this L for love.
Please enjoy
L
this
for
letter.
love.
Yeah.
L for love.
Yeah, that's what it means. Totally. Smile. Blue team Roat right here on the, I believe, the east side of the little lava river there. A number of players down underneath this grenade launcher.
These are actually great explodes to try and tuck them underneath the build right there. Gets one inside.
Oh my God.
That's a big 105. I think another went inside as the explosion happened perfectly right there. Poor Imp. He's probably blaming ping, right? Yep, definitely.
Bro, I tried to close the edit. Why did it go through?
I tried to close the edit. I bind his scroll wheel.
I mouse wheel as hard as I could. Didn't work.
Yep, so that's it. Big 11 right there for Blue Team as he catches his first one here. Getting one step closer, and that's a second. He's on a rampage now.
He could see him through the damaged brick. Was basically just saying, okay, at some point you're not going to be looking at me. I'm going to edit this corner out, take the shot, and be easy.
Oh, his teammate though, Roat right here catches a big Elim as well on the duo. So that was a team that pushed the wrong players as Blue T and Roat come out successful there. Look at that. He's dropping heals, deciding whether or not right now if he wants to take those shadow bombs. He decides, you know what?
I thought he was going to double back for him, sitting on his potentially pop the slurp.
I think the play was to use the slurp in that situation, probably take it, but the storm pressure.
Slurp would have kept his HP basically balanced. He could have grabbed the minis. He would have still had the minis, pushed back in with the shadow bomb. That probably would have been the best play. He would have had a full inventory.
Ooh, finds a down player. What's he going to get from this right here? Oh, he doesn't own this wall behind him, though. This is a scary spot to be in. Roat's off.
Honestly, even scarier, as soon as you get stuck in that geyser, you're forced into a fly. You're going to land.
Lucy just opens up like, yeah, I got
by his teammate.
Come in here,
Perfect
buddy.
coordination.
Yeah, we saw Blue T pick up that RPG earlier. Hopefully this duo does have some rockets for him. If not, he's not going to be able to use that super effective tool, you know. He could have an SMG or something in that slot right now. All right, splits the bandages with Roat. So now they both still have heals. Big pot on Blue T, probably needs to drop that as well. Oh, Roat's under the slurp effect now, so they're actually both going to be really well set off here as far as HP goes. Down comes a stinker. Now looking to move over. There's a player nearby looking for the replacement. Got to be careful here. So notice, he's doing the axing, and Blue Team's doing the replacing of the floor building. They're trying their best to get that. That's like a duo tactic that, you know, we don't get to really break down very often because, you know, in duos, it's a little different. The dynamics shift from solo.
Delegation of mechanics like that, super important because you get ahead of potentially the speed of a player being able to swap out. They get the last hit with the pickaxe, they try and swap and replace. As a solo, that can be difficult to beat out, you know, a pair that's holding turbo build there. But when you have two players, one that is already ready to build.
And exactly, one putting down the pressure, you have more odds exactly to take those builds right there. So it's going down right now. Blue T looking to get a big shot in right here. He does have some rocket launcher ammo. That's going to be a nice little 66 tag right there as he puts that player, puts down some pressure from this mid ground right here on players above him. Out goes the launch pad. They did canvas the area. They decide, you know what, it is time to go off to the air. They now land at the highest level here, and it's their ground to hold. There's a player up above. Bad comms right there. One rocket is going to be wasted here, but that's a good rocket right there. That should disassemble some players as they go falling to the low ground. There it is. Blue T gets some fall damage right there. Another player is coming down. Tries to block himself out. Can he catch him?
There it
nice
is.
knock right there. Ben goes
so
down.
Dude, Pate Mob, another elimination.
G-Fuel.
All the way up top. Roat, Blue T, having the top down on everybody. Looking for players on rotation. Any chance to take a couple shots, pick up a couple more points for Elims. Very big wall spar in the middle of the box there. Over to the outside, Mars rotating across, and Lex still inside that baller.
Natty's throwing all the fireworks in the inventory right now. The dynamite are out. Is it going to convert onto explode? We see players like Hogman use dynamite a lot in the end game in these congested zones. They'll chuck all of it on one spot. We've seen big chains come out of that. About 30-something builds here, so he's about 300 mats here, not too bad. This is definitely enough to continue the pressure here. Nat's looking for an offensive push right now. Doesn't quite see him, he's waiting for that player to get in that box, but being that he moves on, the metal's gonna heal up, doesn't matter. He's not gonna go in and contest that one.
Oh, looking for the edit there. Misses it twice in a row. The door stopping a potential elimination. Had he gotten the entire corner, that probably would have happened just a little bit
first
faster.
time.
Touche.
Uh-oh.
Then he picked it up.
Two players nearby him here. Can he make the edit? He's just waiting. He owns all these builds. He knows this player has to come through this.
Does not have to play too aggressive at that point. He's just looking for movement through the slats.
Look at this hold right here. Roat and Blue T on two different effective layers, but both of them so high. Roat's just so confident in the aggression right here as he pushes right through. We've seen Roat in the previous skirmishes known for getting elims. I remember it dates back to like Winter Royale days, using storming, anything to his benefit to dive on players. Roat is that guy you don't want to go against, that guy that you ask, why did he storm push me? Because he's ready to bring it there. He's going to take it there with you.
I mean, let's be real. Storm push means an elimination.
Sometimes it does.
Place. In that moment, I just want to talk about how fast that was, because he got tags with the SMG, got the wall replaced, then the edit to follow through with a pump shot to get both eliminations. Are you kidding
And it was so
me?
calculated. He even crouched at the perfect time. He did the edit intentionally. That's a big 64 right there. On the hunt again. He's got the wall. He looks for another little cheeky shot. Doesn't quite connect right there. But remember, it's Roat and Blue T. They own all this. Blue T's just firing shots down. He's making all the edits. Bye-bye, E-Rad spams L1.
If all this material belongs to Roat and Blue T, I almost guarantee a victory royale at this point. Roat taking a big hit by Okers on the outside. Pan still up above. Blue T does have the ultimate high ground. The assist from a teammate right now will be key for Roat. As it's a 2v1, they're going to apply pressure on both walls. Easy
Same
push
thing.
in. Let me see that. Let me see that, Elam. Where's the victory royale?
I'm 1 HP.
Come on.
Is it? Go ahead. Go ahead. Just jump in there. Don't worry. Put the crosshair on the player and shoot. There you go.
You just look at him, point at him, pull the trigger. Done and done.
Point and click.
That was absolute domination from this duo. Roat, Blue T picking up 11 eliminations, a 21-point game there. And at the end, that felt like complete control of the entire area. They had all the surfaces. They went for all the edit replaces. Everything was like clockwork.
Yep, Roat did a disgusting job there holding the positioning and just pushing all those players. I love it though. Blue T, you know, putting down the fire. Teammate replaces the wall. They did the same thing at the end there for a second there, except the roles were swapped. When Roat starts putting up the fire, Blue T takes the control of the walls. Now hopping over to Landjock and Punisher. It's not every day you see players do very well in the qualifier and then come in on you know, final day qualifier and then still put up a good performance. So kudos to Landjock and Punisher out here making this these plays work right here. And actually, we saw yesterday the poor Landjock and Punisher. Now we're on the topic. My guy Saf just like dismantled both.
You really gonna bring that up?
Gonna take it there, man.
How you gonna do that, dude?
Had to. Just, you know, just in case you forget.
You know what? They heard you. Leo goes down. Big shot there. Landjock's picking up an Elam.
That's two.
The teammate.
Two in the box. Is he gonna be able to convert here? Oh, it's a trap right there. It's not his trap. He's hugging the storm though. What do you do?
You either step into the trap, get knocked, hug the storm and get knocked. Either way, whoever did damage to him last, if it was in the last couple seconds, they're gonna get the point for that regardless. And Punisher is not gonna be able to pick his teammate up.
Punisher's thinking about it though. He knows Jelty there is very, very weak. So okay, Jelty's out now. Now taking a look at the rest of the map here. Hopping on over to Tempo, Sizlucky, and Brush here. As they are on the hunt. They have the zone more or less. They were very close to it. You can see all these players trying to just fly across the map here. They're trying to fly across the map. Nothing's gonna connect, but now it's time to just keep it up, So Sizlucky lays down some fire right there. It doesn't quite connect. So these guys are just using these guys. This is what makes this place so weird to battle in, right? All of the geysers. All this natural rotation.
It's extremely advantageous for players that maybe didn't have the best situation running into this point, because you've got essentially free community rotations. Yeah, you didn't come across like maybe a redeploy, a launch pad, a rift to go. You've got geysers left and right. The problem is you're also going to have people that are camping those, just sitting and waiting, looking for people that are jumping on or pushing for it. And so even right here, Sizlucky's POV for just a second, there was a player sitting up in a little box. You see him right there. It looks like not orange TV all the way up in the top right. See that window?
Yeah.
That window is someone looking for people that start taking moves. And they're going to take shots. A rocket from the same area all the way up top. Well, Dom and Bugsy, honestly, at this point, kind of living easy. Right over here on the edge.
Just hanging out. You know, got a little zone favor here. They got to be happy about that. What they should do is probably elevate themselves just a little bit, get themselves out of this low contention and see if they can get some other players or put the pressure down, right? It's only 13 seconds that you're going to have this super favorable opportunity to really position up. But if not, they're going to be forced to go with the ground rotate. So we'll see how this ends up playing out for this duo here, as they know there's a player nearby. Look at how they're doing the edits right there. That's a good little 35 right there. Small advantage. Still on the hunt here. Looking, and there it is. Shadow Bomb, he is off now.
Oh, he's even
on the water.
I was expecting just a quick dip in on the materials and everything that was sitting there. So only 91 builds right now, but boxed
Remember,
up.
if the longer you are on the ground, the more likely your timer's going to be up. So gotta be careful. And that's actually Chile who goes down right there. Nice little shot from Bugsy. Gonna be a quick come up on some loot, and boy, who's juggling?
Look, what am I looking at right now? It's a fountain of players. Everyone holding on to the geyser right at the edge of the storm. Maybe some players taking advantage of the zip lines here in a second.
This is a good time for the Fortnite Battle Royale experience line.
This is, welcome to Fortnite Battle Royale, the ultimate Battle Royale experience, ladies and gentlemen. 87 players flying around in the air right now. It's not actually 87, 35 left, 21 duos remaining. We're not even at the point where placement points are going out. Look at those first 3 for somebody. And already in the feed, picking up Alien 42, that elimination. Axel Gamer sitting on 50 shield, 14 HP. 1 mini left and no HP heals. Does have a turret.
He owns all this, though. This is his layer to kind of work through here.
Looking for the edit through. He's going to make a push here. If he owns
that. His too? Oh, boy.
Armani goes down.
What a crucial elim right here. That's going to allow him to get the help to get out of here alive now. And there's another there. That player ate that one to the face. I would be surprised if he is surprised after that one. And now hopping back to low ground. It's scoped on YT and Fijex, who are in the fray of it. It's going down here. We saw a little bit of him earlier using those guys are floating around. He doesn't have any shield.
Big
180. That's the shield he needs. Burr's Lies goes down right there.
Burl's
Lies.
Fourth push here, 23 points. 3 more duos need to go down. 4 points start to become a thing for placement. Punisher trying to take the high ground, and it looks like he potentially does. This player's still bouncing off of these guys. There's a lot of vertical movement, which means if you're at the top, it's a shooting gallery, so long as you're protected underneath. Meanwhile, Sis Lucky, Brush, 2 HP. This is Lucky trying to pick up an elimination.
Oh, he boxed his teammate and that was in the shadow.
A little accident there, I'm sure. Shot to the side, Fod goes down. This is Lucky went up to 181. Meanwhile, Brush, 28 HP total. Still has a mini in the inventory, but a siphon right now would be very big. 1 storm tick is going to mean a knockdown for Brush, and at this point, this late in the game, that's going to put him down to a solo.
Yes,
oh my God.
He desperately needed that.
Asking you shall receive. Forward gifts him a free 50 HP.
And he finds bandages right there. Pops off the rift to go because someone jumps on the layer, and both of those guys are off now. It's AJ and Anorti who are up in the high ground, raining down rocket launcher shots.
Punisher climbs.
Goes for it. He was trying to use the Shadow Bomb to take the high ground. They catch him and block him off for a second there. Back to Bugs, who's on the low ground, getting pressure, trying to keep this player out to the storm. He's got to commit here. Can you hit the big shot to put you back in this game? That's one. Doesn't quite get the siphon though, but he ekes his way into the storm as the slurp effect keeps him alive in these final moments.
That slurp ticket might have been key to keep him in the game.
Down comes the camp, and there it is. That was the siphon.
Yep, 100 HP, shield ticket through from the slurp. Looks for a shot through, gets a 30 tag. 9 players left, 13 duos.
147.
147.
Another one. It's Casey Canada. Can he get both of these? He does convert on both of them. His health is back up. He is back in his game. So is Dom, because now Dom has shield. Look at this congestion. There's so many players alive for how tight the zone is right now.
AJ has the ultimate high ground right now. Punisher in a decent spot. Takes a bit of a hit there. Brush and Sis Lucky from Tempo. This duo's still in it, but they cumulatively have the HP of a single player. Storm damage ticking in there, but Dyslexic goes down. Sis Lucky gets the siphon heal. AJ taking an opportunity just to wait from above, farm a little bit of the wood. Meanwhile, the bottom of the map is an absolute slaughter. Sis Lucky and Brush, big siphon heals as AJ decides to push and he can't capitalize. Sis Lucky and Brush from Tempo take home the victory royale.
That was his game to win. All he had to do was slow down just a little bit right there. But with that, guys, we're going to throw it to the floor with Golden Boy.
Thank you so much, fellas. Wow. These games have been insane. I've been on Reddit. Everyone's going nuts. Everyone's loving each and every minute of this, and I can't blame them because we truly are watching some great Fortnite. I do also want to say I think it's very interesting, Sundown, that I remember when the Fortnite World Cup was announced and the format was announced, and everyone was looking at it and they're like, yeah, no one that's actually like known is going to do well here, right? And that's not true. So it's very clear that like if you're good at this game and you know how to mitigate that slight randomness that can come up from time to time, and you know how to play your game, you'll find yourself at the top of the list. We're seeing a lot of familiar faces up there, a lot of familiar faces in these games, Sundown.
Yeah, for sure. Like you talk about minimizing your ability to let kind of the more random natures of battle route impact you in order to maximize your own player efficiency. That's what we've been talking about. Let's take a look with it. Grove doing a fantastic play there. And again, we don't normally see these baller players able to maximize and get in the late game. So he's already rolled his way into the top 10. But watch what he does from here. Eliminates Lyrison right away. Go Vector gets picked off. Now he's into the top 3. Funk ends up getting knocked, and he's not done yet. Owns the wall, gets the quick edit, jumps back out, throws a ramp in his face, and just keeps challenging over and over again on the left hand. Gets the siphon over onto Funk, so he's able to keep pressuring through. Knows he has the HP advantage, pushes through Nate Hill's trap, and then takes another 1v1 right away.
That whole fight also was built off of that first down that he got, because he knew that he can go outside and take that fight a little bit longer because he was going to have that siphon kick in.
And you saw it called out right away when Pacifist and JT were able to get the knock on high ground. They went and retook it right away. Dopeye getting ticked over there, but they then are able to work from top down the rest of the way, working together to pick up these elims and close the match out. You don't get this without that initial mid-game take of the high ground. You don't get this type of opportunity, and you don't get this amount of control. And Pacifist comes up clutch right here. The second JT gets dropped on, watch his reaction while he's spraying towards the low ground. It's so fast, boom, right away. The second JT is down, Dr. Football goes down as well. He drops down to challenge, seeing the player going in. 76 on the Falcon. Not so pacifying from the Pacifist there. Took him down, no problem. And a name we called out, you said he's known for his elims. Typically, it's a little more early in mid-game, but I love the pairing of him with Blue T. A little bit of miscomms there, but Blue T, being that late-game general, the late-game monster, hits the rocket launcher, knocks down Hate Mob, and then they get high ground control from here. What this means is they're able to roll through, hit the shots. Ben is not cracked right there. The only thing cracked was his shields as he gets down. Gives Roat the room to go to work, and this is what he needs. Pushing in, gets the knock on Bunk, but keep an eye on that. Gonna opt not to push for it, disengage up, because he'll go back for it later. He tracked these players, knew he got the revive, breaks the wall, knows the other player's going to heal, resets, and then look at this edit. That edit is so good. How many people edit archways in that way to block Shu JJ in the corner?
He didn't have right hand either in that moment too, so everything went in the favor of Roat.
And look at him just taking these walls over and over again. Erad goes down, jumping out, and just his ability to land the pump shots when it matters. Oker's pushing through his build with the ramp on the other side, and Roat making sure he's ready for that phase through. You saw it coming, and then as the player drops down, putting the traps down, wants to style him in a little bit, but instead just pushes into the box, edits his way through, takes him out. 11 eliminations from Roat and Blue Team with the victory out. 21-point match, and I'm a fan of this newly formed duo. I think they have an opportunity when they get some chemistry down. Not sure if they'll get it this week, but later weeks, I think they'll be able to pop off.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and we'll see how they do right now in the standings, if they're even in the top 10, because as it currently stands, 100 Thieves is sitting. I'll tell you, man, Nadeshot, you're having a pretty good day. Cease and Elevate, they're going to be at number 1. Then you got Zayt and Saf, who are going to be at number 2. Aircool and Cadet, Synergy Cadet, are going to be in that 3rd place spot. Bear in mind, folks, the top 3, those are the ones that are going to be going to New York City, but we are not done yet. Plenty of games left, and you gotta feel though for 8th place, Creo and Kiwiface, no more games remaining. They ran through a bunch of them, and because of that, they're gonna tank in the standings, but they played very well yesterday, and I fully expect them to be back again. And like I said, before we closed out the broadcast yesterday, it's any given Sunday, right? And
sometimes it's not your given Sunday.
And sometimes it is not your given Sunday.
So somebody who hasn't necessarily had a given Sunday in a while, and it looks like it might be their week, Poach and Chap.
Yeah, which we've changed their
55
names.
55 points. They're up there. No, that was Vivid. Vivid in
Oh,
72
yeah,
hours.
I'm sorry.
Still Pepe Hands and Be Yourself. Hey, we know it. But
my
Poach and Chap
bad.
up there. Victory Route, 55 points. And also, this spread, again, it's kind of real quick, right? Like the striking distance. So the last time I looked, in order to be 10 places out of a qualifying spot, you are in top 30. So realistically, there is 30 teams who are one victory royale, no eliminations away, a victory royale away from being in the qualifying spot.
And those names include the likes of Tfue, Cloak, Myth, along with Heads, I believe, is Misfits' teammate, and and Ninja and Reverse as well. They're all in there. They're all in there, man.
It's up for grabs. Like I said, 3 more spots, almost getting down towards it. Less than an hour left going through.
And I believe in 11th place as well was the newly signed Dubs and Mega from FaZe. So
they're right. They're in the running, man. And I mean, like I said, I want to fast forward an hour from now and just have the end standings. So this is so close.
Part of the fun of the
I want to eat my cake.
Part of the fun is the journey, baby.
Just slam it in my face, Golden Boy.
A good book is good in all of its parts. You know what I'm saying, baby? That's it. You seem speechless there. All right, well, the good news is we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, more NA East games you don't want to miss, and we're going to see you where? On the other side.
To be able to place first out of NA East for the second week of duos, it was honestly mind-blowing. Crims was actually really sick during the competition. He had to leave middle of games 3 times. He also ruined his keyboard. So like the fact that he went through all of that and we still qualified in NA East being a very strong region to qualify in, it was astonishing. We were both screaming and yelling.
So me and Clix have been playing together. I met him in December, but we've only been playing for I'd say a month. And I remember Clix specifically saying, I don't think we're gonna qualify this week, but I think we got the next week in 2 weeks. When I said, nope, we're qualifying this week, and I guess my words were true.
And then when we were going to the Fortnite live stream and we heard we're second, I screamed as loud as I can. And now that I actually show people I know how to do it, it's just completely impressive.
We met at the Secret Skirmish. I was looking for a partner at the time, and I did not expect to win this soon, but I knew we were one of the best duos in the game. We won 3 out of 5 games, so I knew we had the chemistry.
Seriously, it's an honor to qualify with Tyler first.
I was a little bit surprised because Arkham and I, like I said, just started doing 3 days ago. I mean, I guess it shows that individual skill can come out into a duo too, and we understand how duo gameplay works and all that, so.
I knew of Valkyrie. I knew he was a good known player. We ended up doing really well, and I'm like, I want to see where this goes. So I kept on playing with him. We started getting our chem down. We started getting our end game rotations down, and we started taking off. And take everything seriously, and you will eventually get there.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after that short break to the NA East qualifier finals. I'm your host, Monster D-Face. We're back here, and we're going to be jumping back into the action. Doc Lupo and I just finished up an intense set of games, but with that, we got some new casters for you. We got the meme team coming out right now, which is Zeke and Golden Boy is going to be taking over some of our games here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good title to have, Monster.
Yeah, hey, Zeke said not to tell you about the name he came up with, and then just throw it at you and get your genuine reaction. That was the plan.
Well, I respect you for sticking with the plan. Zeke, you know, you're just way too excited, man. I get it, though. I'm excited, too, because we have some pretty good games up ahead of us. Man, it's like the conversation online is insane because typically it's like everyone's, you know, like, oh, yeah, this was good. Everyone is just latching on to every single moment in every single game. And good news for you is that we're going to be jumping into those matches right now. Let's go and have some fun in NA East. And the collective region, you've dubbed it NA West.
That's right, NA West.
Instead of just all North America,
it's just NA West. That's right, as a collective. Now, GB, I think we should just take a moment, all right? You know, a lot of people have had, you know, great Sundays. Maybe they're just tuning in for the first time. Let's help get them up to speed, you know? Guys, it's exactly as you've seen in the past, all right? Top 15, top 10, top 5, and victory are all those placement thresholds with each elim being a point on the board. We're up in NA East. Duos back for week 4, and it's finals day. So this is a big opportunity for a lot of these players looking to qualify and punch their ticket to the finals.
I want to take a moment to just observe that we saw Exhibit knock down Outcast. So I think that, you know, maybe he didn't want a fish tank in his car. I don't know. But
I like where you're going with that. The moment you said it, I knew exactly.
It just saw it, and I was like, oh, what a time. So we got Cloak and Tfue here on screen right now, and they're trying to climb their way up, and it is a highly competitive NA East region. And look at the spread in the safe zone right now. We got here Cloak with a pretty good kit as well. I'm sure you'd like to trade that sniper out for a heavy, but you take what you get. And they're going to play this more control type game. This is something that they do quite a bit. You know, they slow things down. And with the way that this zone is going to be moving, well, they're going to just try and see if they can patrol this before they need to make the moves and get into zone here. But nice shot. That was a 2-6-2.
That was a headshot. That was a
Phil.
Oh, okay, I thought he was about to flick this guy's way. If you pop the
balloon play?
Come on, that's 1, 2, 3. This player's coming down. Glider redeploy. Anything?
Anything at all? I hope I'm sure that player had a glider redeploy. Never mind. Nope. It was Tyler 15? Okay.
Maybe Tyler 15 was thinking, look, this is such a ridiculous play that no one will see it coming. Like, they won't even fathom it. So he went for it. But Cloak says, listen, all right? We're Cloak and Tfue, all right? What are you doing? We're going to take that elimination away from you now.
That's quite an extensive conversation for two people who haven't exchanged words at all. But.
I mean, I like to have long conversations. I like to interact with people, you know.
By the way, I got my boy Flossin up top, one of my favorite Fortnite players.
You know, he really broke into the scene that one time. He was sitting in Fatal Field, your home away from home.
That's right.
In the cornfield, and waited and just one-pumped Punisher. I believe it was actually us casting, and believe that he was the hero we needed and both deserved. So, Flossin, you will always forever be a golden boy in our hearts.
Yeah, okay, I like that. I've never really separated the two before, but I respect that. Well, looking here, you got Tfue and Cloak continuing to apply that pressure onto the players that go up into the sky, thinking that they can rotate out, and look at the impulse nade being used there as well, forcing that player to just propel themselves over to the side. And the names in this one, you got Commandment in here, you got Air Cool as well, Tfue, Cloak, and we mentioned earlier that Flossin was up above. I saw some other names. I think I saw Chap as well as Poach. So some good players are going to be in this lobby, and this is exactly what you want. 22 duos remain. 38 players, though, are going to be in this game. And look at this, man. Oh, okay, try and tear this down. I think it's still going to be connected.
Oh, my God. An RPG comes from over their shoulder. Tfue cracks Rogue Shark in his face, and now we just got to keep on going because that Siphon's going to come through. Any moment he's going to be okay. If I was him, I would try to get ahead of this, get a bandage. Unfortunately, not fast enough. It's okay. It's going to be all right. It's still kicking. But, man, it's quite a bit of storm damage there. His back is in and around the storm wall. Well, you know, that is the way of the road, as you would say sometimes.
Yeah, indeed it is, my friend. And now we're going to be in that zone 7 here. That's going to be one of those far-moving zones. You got Poach, who's continuing to just patrol up above, manning the high ground. And if any players try to descend onto them, they will intend to make them pay. But we're not able to stop with the sheer volume of players that are still going to be left in this game. 20 total. You want to throw down some traps, maybe force some of those players not to just drop right on top of you. But Poach and Chap still hold this one down. Down low, you're going to have RBK's High Sky as well, looking to just stay in this game. And they're just, at this point in time, it is about just continuing to own the high ground, find the angles, and take advantage of whatever the small advantages that you can possibly obtain here.
And you know, it's interesting, right? Because when we first tuned in this game, there's about 50 players and 27 duos. Look how quickly the lobby has already dwindled, all right? That's how chaotic this gets toward the end game, especially when we hop in toward the end. A few circles here from 4, 5, sometimes even 6. Now keep in mind, we only have 13 players, 9 duos, so we've already hit top 15, hit top 10. 5 is the next place
nice
in threshold. Great RPG coming out from Chap there. And someone dropped down!
Someone dropped down right in front of him. It's going to be Grove who went in for it, manages to knock down Chap. And then also in the action feed, you're going to see TSM's Commandment is going to be out of the game here. And the high ground goes over to Grove and Scientist as well. They're going to own all of this. So taking it over from the Liquid Boys, we're going to have 8 duos remaining in this lobby. Poach still going to be in this one, so he did sacrifice, or gave up, I shouldn't say sacrifice, gave up that high ground, forced out of that one, courtesy of Grove and Scientist. There's also going to be a player here just trying to mount the defense now, and Grove connecting with that blue Silence SMG. Anyone who tries to come outside is going to pay dearly with their presence in this lobby, and this is going to continue to look really good here for this duo. But down low, you're going to have B-Tish as well as Cryptic exhibit in this one too, and then Poach all the way down low. But as it currently stands, that duo advantage there is going to rest for Scientist and Grove. Grove looking around, seeing if he can pick up a few more eliminations as players go in to try and challenge. He's only going to have 2 elims right now, but 2 players are going to remain playing for the Victory Royale, looking to get themselves to 10 points. But for these other players, it's about trying to outlive the duo that remains, because the numbers are not going to be on their side. And Grove and Mad Scientist know this, and they're going to play this to their advantage and not strike until they absolutely need to. It seems like Grove is going to be the one that drops down and engages in the fight. Cryptic's going to go low, and that's a Victory Royale for Grove and Scientist.
Absolutely clinical, textbook win there coming out from them. They had the numbers like you talked about, and then it was all about executing. You saw them push Poach down to the lowest ground. He then had to interact with the other player, and then all Grove had to do was say, look, they're going at it. I'm just going to drop down, clean it up. Victory out for them. But listen, man, we still have games to get into. We got to keep on rolling, all right? Next game's got to be on deck, because we still have plenty of games to get through. And don't forget, we have all of NA West after this. That's right. I'm going to perpetuate this joke forever.
Forever.
More big names, though. Ghost, Assault, Innocence. I've not seen Echo L. Wait, okay. Wait. My mind instantly went to Echolocation. So Echoloking.
I think it's Ecolo King.
Ecolo King. Okay, all right. Ecolo King.
I'm just going to call him King.
Maybe it's like Ecolo-King. Let's just go with King. Let's just go with King. Hey, what's up, King? You know, he's got his...
Because his buddy's K-Dude.
His teammate's name is K-Dude.
Yo, if there's one... I want to see the scrappy adventures of the King and the Dude. You know, it's like a little Big Lebowski.
Yeah. You know, recently, quickly becoming good friend of mine has taken to saying "dude" a lot. So I have also become doing this in the same.
Did
you know who you are? Dude. You know who you are.
Well, we know who these guys are. Saf and Zayd are going to be in this game, as well as Innocence. It just, man, so many good players here. It's insane. But we're going to be lingering about Retail Row, Zeke. Retail Row saw a facelift the other day.
Yes, it sure did. Volcano came knocking on Retail's door and said, I'd like to purchase this entire plot of land. Blacktop is no longer. And what stands in its wake instead is a gigantic rock, I guess. Would that be the proper terminology? He's like, you know, what came out of it was like a rock? You know, is that right? I feel like that's right.
Definitely smell what you're cooking.
Yeah, you got it. But guys, we're going to keep up with the action here. Look at all these guys. Still a very dense lobby. Don't forget, top 15 is the first round of placement points that can be dished out. So you have to make sure you're trying to survive as long as possible. Now, we're at 21 duos, so another 6 have to go down. Things are going to get crazy.
Yeah. We have a long way to go in this game, even though it's quickly going to become carnage and chaos. With that zone creeping in, you start to see the players begin to transition out, and that's where SAF is going to do the best they can to gatekeep, prevent them from being able to get in. But if you can tag them up, that's more or less what you want there, so you can get some credit for the eliminations. And SAF manages to secure one just there against Huxty, and he knows that there's another player there as well. Then you're going to have Joel, who's down but not out, but might as well will be with the way Joel is positioned.
He's like, no, the wall, no. Yeah, he's above them. I don't think they know he's up there. Otherwise, they might as well confirm that elimination and get the free resources that he potentially has. Now, they might have just heard it going down below. You see Zayd, he moved up, maybe checking above him. He had his little head looking up. Now he's looking around. He said, I don't know where this guy is. I heard him, but it's okay. Now, he's got eyes on this other duo.
Oh!
No! Oh, my.
Okay, so, yeah, we got to break that down real fast, Zeke.
Okay, I just hyperventilated. All right, so he was peeking there with the pyramid. And so if you didn't know, if you have a pyramid above you and you go to edit up straight up, okay, all right. These guys are on another level, double smoke bomb. I'm going to come back to that point in just a moment. I want to see what they decide to do here because they find themselves upgrades. This is huge and more smoke bombs coming out. Now Zayd has one left. And you've got to assume Saf probably has at least one as well. That sniper play, though, very quickly touching on it. He was edit peeking. He waited for the player to get comfortable, and in that moment, abused that peeking there and said, look, I'm going to punish you for thinking you were safe. That is my elimination. Craziness.
The timing that you have to have is just absurd at the high level of professional Fortnite, but Zayd and Saf, two players that have exemplified that, I would say, in every single event that we've seen them in. Such a great team here, but Zayd is going to find peace right in front of him, and he's going to knock him down. That should be confirming in just a little bit so that he can get that siphon and the HP from it. More players are also going to be to the left here of Saf and Zayd as they're just patrolling around, trying to get presence down low, own some of these walls, forces their way right inside. That's going to be Top Gun, who goes down out of the fight, and they will get the siphon credit for that one as well. They confirm the elimination. More players are going to be about here as well. Down low, Saf and Zayd, they're just looking to pick off some of the stragglers, but you got folks that are going to be in the high ground as well, Zeke.
There's still so many players. Take a look. We just right now hit top 15.
It's like a skeet shooter.
Yeah, the action does not stop. Top 10 is the next placement threshold. Look at the ballers down below playing billiards. And now Saf and Zayd need to start navigating their way. They see the players above. Just fracture it. There you go. They're going to come. Oh, one of them had the glide redeploy. The other is now separated. Okay, just kidding. That was an entirely different party. There is so much chaos happening right now, and we still have 19 players.
Forcing their way in there, taking out Imperial. Saf and Zayd are definitely going to be on one here. It gets the siphon, but it does not give him the shields, and he's got to get back in here quickly. Doesn't have any minis to try and use, but has that smoke bomb. Oh, no! Just as he pops the smoke bomb, gets cleaned up, and that is going to be an unfortunate series of events. But Twexy and Simple are going to own the top here and continue to patrol up above.
The skill is unbelievable. To land that shot when they've come through the smoke, remember, they become invisible. You've got to know where they're going to be. That was insane. And now they're going to slide down this mountain as these ballers are just being as annoying as possible right now, making sure they cannot keep their builds up. Assault here needs to find something. 9 players, 6 duos, about to hit top 5. They want these points.
And they have that heavy sniper that they can just crash right on in. It truly is the key that can unlock anything, but got to make sure you play your cards right here. Assault, he's looking around. He sees a player right out there, but He tags him for a little bit. Smoke bomb's going to be used, and that player looking to just get out of dodge. Innocence using that chug jug at this late game. That is huge if he can get this off. And Assault's going to need to do this. Pushes himself right through the wall and just shreds through Slacks.
That was insane. And to top it off, they actually got the chug jug off. So both of them sitting on 200 right now. There's another pair of duos still left. We got 6 players left. And I mean, it's looking really good for them. They even have the smoke bombs as well. They've got the heavy snipe to potentially just punch through a build as they need to. There's a player up above on the other wall. I don't think he saw him. For a moment, he lost track, but Innocence goes down, and he does trade it out. It is King who goes down. That means his partner must be close by. No, I'm sorry. That was a straight elim. His partner has been eliminated as well. It is now a 2v2, but his teammate Innocence is down. This is a 2v1 right now. He cracked 1. He needs to secure this. He needs this siphon. It's so vital right now. Okay, it comes through. Simple versus Ghost Assault. Simple has health advantage, high ground. But this is Assault we're talking about. He just needs a moment, literally a second, and he can turn this entire situation around.
Oh, and pops the slurp there. That is going to be the advantage that Simple will have, because Assault will be sitting at 100 HP, but so will Simple. And wait a minute, he went outside. He went outside, and it's still ticking, though. He's going to have that advantage. The campfire goes down. He will have the life advantage. It's a heal off, and it's going to go to Simple, unless Assault can pull something out of the hat, but it's not going to happen, and Simple will pick up the victory royale right at that last second there. But that was a good preemptive play using the slurp, and then maybe going out looking for the elimination. Didn't quite find it, but he still had that life lead. And now we're off to the races for yet another game.
Oh, man, continuing with these big names, Spades, Crims, we've already seen go through, TSM's Zexro and Vinny. I mean, this is just going to continue and continue to get better. Again, if you're just tuning in, welcome. This is the Fortnite World Cup. We're in week 4, online open status time, top 15, 10, 5, victory hour, all the placement thresholds with each elim being a point. We are in finals, so every single point matters for these players. Just like Sundown says, every interaction could be the difference between qualifying and not. So you're going to see a lot of these players, they're putting literally everything on the line, trying to qualify, trying to make it through to the finals.
So Ritual and his teammate Baldy actually don't really have a lot of resources. They do have ballers. Well, actually, Baldy has the baller, and then that launch pad was dropped so that Ritual can join him on the other side.
Right. Exactly, and that's, you know, we see this strategy kind of every now and again, right? Because in case you didn't know, the ballers.
Oh, what a shot there on a Prodigy Aces! Absurd. He lined that one up. He saw it and he read it like an open book. Well done.
What was that angle? Like he caught like just the littlest. It was like he shot his pinky toe, like literally his baby pinky toe.
Squeaky angle.
Oh my gosh! Shout out to you, TSM Zexro, back in the game. We've seen him recently. He had that wrist injury, but he's pushing past it, back on the scene, and I mean he's performing extremely well. We'll have to see how him and Vinny can we'll have to see if they can make something happen. Vinny already has 3 elims, so already they've got 3 points, which is huge. They just need to try and hit top 15, try and get those placement points as well.
They find the flimsiness of this build here. They should be able to bring that down, and that is going to be a knock on to Fijex. Another one is well in front. That player trying to defend has to rift to go because doesn't really have much of a choice. And that was just good pressure and a good read, but they're so low, and Lotus knows that, so tries to put that presence on them there as well. But as we go to the eye on the sky, we got Zasma and Vape Jesus here.
Yeah, Vape Jesus. You know we all love you, and you know everyone loves you, Vape Jesus. Shout outs to you, Zasma here as well. Now keep in mind, they don't have any elims yet, but just like I always mention this is going to change, right? Especially as these last few circles start to happen. They're looking to catch players on the edge of the storm, just like this, right? Players unsuspecting. You just find eliminations left and right. You just have to be mindful, have really great game sense, and know where to look. And because of that, they have one already. Now keep in mind, we're going to start moving over into Junction. You know, it's a little bit of weird terrain if the cars weren't farmed.
Yeah.
But it should be fine. It should be fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. You know? Or maybe not.
We'll see for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and good connection there from Jacob Hackey on to Blank. That is going to be the down, and we'll be waiting for that elimination to count here in a little bit as the Storm will claim blank at the end. And Jacob running by himself, so he ended up losing his teammate. We saw Jacob Aki and Odexnide. They had popped up in the top 10 and some good players as well. Really, we've just been treated to some quality players here throughout the online open qualifiers. Some stinkers too, maybe try and force some people out. I like the use of the stinkers in the late game, and you hear all of these ballers jumping about. There's so many of them. They're going to be left in this one. Also see Reverse 2K in there as well, but there's Vinny and Zextro in that high ground. Jacob Aki looking to go for that high ground control, which he does get, but it will be a question of whether or not he'll be able to maintain this by himself if he gets challenged by two players here. 95 blue, but as I mentioned, right, it's like very hard to hold this by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, he feels very confident. You could tell by his play, right? He's being very aggressive, and he even has this rocket launcher if he needs to fall back on it. If I'm him, I just wait this out, right? Of course, it's Zextro and Vinny on the high ground, so you're not taking it away from them unless they decide to give it up. There you go. Like I was saying, they command the high ground, similar to people like Ghost Bizzle and DMO, right? Once they have high ground, it's very hard to take it back. They're going to drop down on Crims, who gets shut down immediately, and they're just going to allow that. They want to make sure that this siphon comes through a little bit later on, and the onslaught continues. We just hit top 15. 12 duels remain. FaZe Funk gets cleaned up there, and the onslaught continues. Zazma is cleaned up as well. He was by himself. That was a straight elim. Crims now comes through. Siphon comes through. And it's popping off right now, GB. It's popping off.
He might be able to go and crash right through that door there, but needs to get the reload on his weaponry so that this way he could be in a much better position. The ball ends up getting knocked out, and that was Spen who was inside of the ball, and will be out of the game now. Looking low, you got Ninja in reverse. You also have Spades. I don't see Thresh. I think Thresh got cleaned up in the carnage of it all. Ritual's going to be out of the action as well, and Dyslexic sent all the way up to the top here. His teammate Lanson's going to be in this one too. We'll have to dodging that one and crank those 90s so you can get as far up as possible. We'll have that redeploy as well. So if anything happens, should be able to glide down to safety here. But we're coming down to it, Zeke. We got 7 duos remaining, and Zextro just picked up one on to Dyslexic's teammate Lanson. So he's going to be out of the fight. But Vinny is also going to have to be out of this one as well because of TJ. Nice connection there onto Frantic Heavens from Dyslexic, who continues to own that mid area. You got Pyro Voil, who's all the way up in the ultimate high ground here.
This is crazy. Even though we saw Vinny has gone down, Zextro is still on a spree. He shut down TJFN, and now he's in that mid-ground tarp. We see Pyro's Voil up on the top. He's by himself. I think he just got off a chug jug. He just went all the way back up to 200, still caught in the storm, and it was worth it. Now Zextro is just below on the tarp.
Ninja and Reverse are the only duo that are going to be in this one. They're the only duo left. This is doable for them because they have numbers, and Zextro is in a world of hurt right now, but they just need to work together here, this last remaining duo in this game. Ninja goes out, launch pads up, but he gets back down here, finds one in front. That's going to be Spades. He manages to cap him off on that. Zextro, comes up from that launch pad that Ninja put down. Reverse is going to be out of this one, and he's going to have health. Ninja's going to have the HP. He goes in for the fight. Oh my God! Dyslexic takes out Ninja. What happened there? Oh, man, that is rough because those 3 points could be the difference.
That was so unbelievably unfortunate. So much happened there. We're going to move on to this game, but I want to just take the briefest moment to talk about everything that happened. Okay, so we saw Zextro. He was in that mid-ground tarp. He overtook the back up on the high ground tarp. Unfortunately, traded out a ton of HP for it. So he was sitting high above everyone else. He was in critical, though. Then Reverse and Ninja were down below. They crack one player. One player trades out Reverse, and now it's up to Ninja by himself. Zextro dove down, tried to hit the launch pad. He did, but then it's like, well, the storm is too tiny. You're just going to take storm damage. He ends up falling because of it. Unfortunately, Ninja could not convert that over, but still very well played.
He had the life lead.
Yes, he did. He did.
So, I mean,
it must have been maybe he just missed the initial shot because he did have advantage. Like Reverse had gone down, and at that point you're probably okay. If their comms are good, they're saying, "Hey, I'm down. He's here," right? So if that's what's happened, Ninja knows exactly where he's going to be.
Yeah.
So whatever happened, maybe someone like Sundown can break that down for us, or whoever's going to be the analyst in the next bit. But now we're on to the next games because there's.
We got to move on.
Yeah, we just gotta keep rolling.
And it's crazy that we're moving on into a game that just concluded with Ninja and Reverse 2K, and now we're going to talk about Tfue and Cloak, who are doing what they do best. Again, slow and steady has been their style, and it works out very well for them. They talk well with one another. The communication, it's kind of like. I remember watching duo Fortnite early on, right? When some of our first duo competitions in competitive Fortnite, and really enjoying like the comms between these two players. And I think it's really just kind of shaped the way that a lot of players communicate in competitive Fortnite when it comes to this duo format.
So what's interesting is that's good comms and bad comms can really shape the entire way you play games, right? If you're not good on comms, that's
I can tell you, when I used to
compete
compete back in the day, one of the things I would always tell my teammates would be, hey, listen, I don't want to hear any complaints. I just want to hear call-outs. That's all I care about. Keep that side chatter for after the game, because it doesn't help us mid-game. I think a lot of these players, when I hear when I listen to Dubs and Mega, I actually watch like a few videos of them playing, and you can just hear it, right? Young players, by the way, but you can hear like how they're just constantly like, oh, he's here, go for this player there. They're calling out the skins, they're calling out the players if they recognize it. Like, it's just good gameplay. It's as simple as that, right? It's good, clean, effective gameplay. But onwards here, though, I mean, that's why I personally love duos. I think duos is just the absolute best.
Right. It's very fun. I still have quite a bit of work on my call-outs that I need to make, but I try to keep it as minimal as possible, right? Like, every time I tag someone like, hey, 76 or white damage or blue or 25 on shield, things like that. Comms, very, very important. If you're looking to level up your gameplay, work on your comms. Find someone you pair very well with, and just communicate. So now Zealous going to keep it up here. Green is already down. Up on top again, Tfue and Cloak, even after this rotation, still commanding high ground.
And everyone has gained themselves a placement point here. Very vital as we get to the end of the NA East queue times. For Zealous, that is pretty big because no eliminations, and a player's going to drop right in front of him. The edit window out, owns that wall there. Very well done by Zealous. It was a little jumpy from time to time, but was able to confirm it, pick it up, and off to the races they go with just one elimination. But the placement points now, that has to feel pretty good there.
Yeah, for sure. And again, this is top 3,000. This is the top 1,500 duos in their respective region. If you don't own a wall, you cannot make that mistake. You have to make sure and try to replace it. You like, if you don't, I promise you're going to get edited on every single time, and that's exactly what we saw happen there. Now, Tfue and Cloak going to continue to maintain the high ground. I'm curious if they're going to stop and farm the tree. Oh, I love this. So you saw him 180. That's probably because Cloak was saying, there's a guy on me behind you, and you saw him whip around immediately. They force that player down, and they just continue. Again, good comms. You can tell by the way they are moving, how they react to each other. This is so sick. I'm freaking nerding out over here. Excuse me.
Yeah, well, they have a lot to work with as well. So, as far as match goes, it could be better, but they will have that rift to go in the off case that things do go south very quickly. They just need to continue to communicate effectively here. All these duos really at this point in time, but I think a lot of players are concerned about who is going to be manning that high ground. Tfue gets tagged up just a tad, and there you have it. So that rift to go is going to be used because Tfue did not have the mats and did not want to spend them. Want to try and save that, get to your teammate, because they were split up for the time being. 89 blue on that connection with that epic pump. Finds that player through the sky. I say it, I love saying it. It's like a skeet shoot, right? Little duck hunt there. Craziness indeed. But Tfue and Cloak continuing to do such a brilliant job of making their way up the high ground. And Zealous goes right into it there with Cloak, and that is crazy. I didn't see who ended up coming up on top there in the elimination feed, and Draxor is going to be caught outside, needs to get in, and so no, Draxor is going to be out of it, but that means now we're going to be in top 10 territory, and because of that elimination, Zealous got the better of Cloak. So Tfue's, they actually split up. I apologize. Cloak got out of that fight, so he managed to stay up in this.
Yeah, somehow he got out, and he's still in critical condition. Tfue sitting on 200, but these guys can do it. You saw what they're able to do. Outlit is up on that high ground, just above them. Fate trying to face off against Young Calculator. Look at all these players still tightly packed together. Tifu's dropping down. Cloak again dropped to critical. He needs to convert on something. He desperately needs a siphon. We're coming down the wire. Look, Outlet all the way in the bottom going against Sun Villa. He's so dangerously low, but look who else is here. Lyrison and Sketch G. Look at Tifu again. These guys are getting traded. Calculator is right now calculating with these, oh my, the stink bombs. Is Tifu gonna go down? No, he's okay.
Yeah,
that was really scary.
He's okay, but it is a very fragile situation for Tifu because he doesn't have anything to heal himself up with, and even then won't have any time. The good news for Tifu, will have the 100 shield, so can work with that. Young Calculator, though, is putting a lot of pressure onto the FaZe boys, and Calculator's trying to just win this out, but they're going to fall down. And I can't believe that they managed to stay in this one. Young Calculator, 2 + 2 = you lose, and you got Tifu and Cloak still in this one. Outlet goes down. Credit to him for lasting as long as he could. Lyrison and Sketch are still going to be in this one against the FaZe boys. Cloak and Tifu, they're going to have that high ground control, but the life lead firmly on the side of Lyrison and Sketch, and if they keep playing this, they will manage to get the victory royale. Cloak and Tifu need to make a move. They have to figure out what they want to do. Of course, they don't know what that life lead is currently looking like, but they're going to drop down. Lyrison goes down, and the victory royale goes to Tifu and Cloak. 8 eliminations from my boy from Jersey. Way to go there for FaZe Clan. They pick up the dub.
Bro, that was so sick. In every sense of the word, the other team had every advantage, and they said, you know what? Let's just full send it. Monster, was that not the sickest thing you've seen?
That right there was crazy, guys. Just the comms, we talk about communication. At the same exact time, Tifu Cloak dropped down from 2 different angles, and then, more importantly, both connect right there. Those are the kind of plays we like to see here at the Fortnite World Cup weekend qualifiers. Sundown, I know you got some stuff backed up for us too as far as this gameplay and stuff goes.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. I mean, we talk about how every single point matters, every single interaction matters. I mean, we're going to watch the replay here real quick. Just watch it in real time as it's going down. You see Tifu gets it just ahead enough, but is also out of build. So pops his mini, takes a storm tick there. Now, as he opts to go down, has the glider redeploy. Look how late he waits. Cloak also goes down, and they go down on either side of it. So then Sketch is forced to cover over the top as Tifu pushes around from the side that they didn't have walled off. Brilliantly done there. Great execution from the duo. And I mean, we talk about the hours of practice, how you have to be able to bang that out. They've been in that situation before. They can pincer the opponents. Let's take a look at some other players who have been in this situation and have been executing. We're going to kick it off first with Grove, just working his way top down from the high ground. I mean, catching Chap off guard here. And also, notice Scientist HP down there. Super low. Grove basically has to do this single-handedly, but gets a ton of white damage. And you notice he's persistent. The second he gets tags on someone, he's following them, he knows their location, and then he gets enough to be able to work his way down. But still, limited builds, working from the top-down position, is able to drop down into the fray on the low ground, pick up a clutch elim there for the victory royale on to Cryptic. Now another player, clutch on the low ground, Assault. You see Innocence is popping that Chug Jug. He needs to make room because Slacks is nearby. You can hear the Chug Jug from a mile away. So Assault pushes through to do that. And again, in this close quarters, being able to execute is so huge as Innocent goes down. Picks up Ecolo King with the tag and the storm conversion, and then right here in such close quarters situation, able to get the siphon, not quite able to ride it out for the victory royale, but still very good low ground execution coming out. Just a nice snipe. I mean, this is awareness. We talk about the pace of the game and how fast it can end. Prodigy Ace's run ends there, and I mean, Zeke called them out saying he's back with a vengeance. Zexro and Vinny. I mean, this is like TwitchCon reunion right now. Zexro and Vinny popping off. Funk Bomb and Nate Hill popping off, Tifu and Cloaksy popping off, and you can see him just working top down, picks up Zazwa, picks up Crims as well. It's not like he's doing this against nobody. These are players who have been up there. Crims already qualifying in for that duos portion last week, and Zexro just so fast, so good with it, able to punish the player right there. And I mean, that's what it takes to be the best. Now, we're gonna hop on board with somebody who knows a little bit about being the best. Great flick shot onto X there, and see how they run the high ground out with such limited amount of builds. We saw Cloaksy's perspective from this time as well, and he just didn't have anything. They're working around, looking for opportunities. They got split for a little bit, and then we're able to work back over towards the side of the temple and continue the aggression forward, catching Owl off guard there, and then getting just a couple more builds. 10 builds, but that's enough for Tfue to make plays and to make room for himself. Now, you see him 68 points, pickup calculator to get to 69. That's what he was at last week for solos, and here was the clutch play that we saw. Getting enough room to pop those minis off. Didn't need that second one, but it's fine. Same effective HP. As soon as their builds get dropped down, both of them are ready. You can see him switch to the pumps before the knockdown even happens. Redeploy goes out, execute, clean it up. Tfue and Cloaksy, you need to do that if you want to qualify as a duos. That's going to be everything you have to do. And also, queues are now closed. We're at that 7 p.m. time. It's good. It's done. Those last matches will still be able to play out. So if you're in a game, if you're on the island, if it's launched, you're all set. Otherwise, your 3 hours and 10 matches are over.
What a day and age we live in where you get to see your favorite competitors go toe-to-toe. Like, even earlier today, just to see Ninja in the end game. We're Reverse 2K in multiple end games here. Tfue doing it once again, showing why he's up there. But with that, guys, we have more standings. Let's go on and catch up to our other regions that have been going on here.
We got NAEs first.
Oh, we
so
have NAEs first.
We'll take
okay.
the look in because we got the wrap up. So Zate and Saf up there, 97 points. Able to wrap that one out. So don't know who is in game on here. You can check it out live in client. If you set your region to NAEs, you have a flashing red bar. But like we said, top 3. So again, Sizzlucky and Brush have pushed a little bit clear of that. However, the battle for the 3rd spot, Cease and Elevate holding it right now at 75 points. Tfue and Cloaksy at 74. The RBK boys at 73. The Ghost boys, Innocent and Assault at 73. Fuzzy and Hogman at 73. Aircool and Cadet at 72. Poach and Chap at 71. Forward GG and Forward GG. I mean, that's impressive. You guys both got that in there, so I'm assuming some special characters. But, I mean, 71, and it's just on the other side of this. There's still players, like we said, about, I'd say 16 points is a reasonable striking distance. As Victory Real, 6 elims or 9 elims, and in that top 5, all very doable. There's still about 30 teams in the running if they're able to get in that last match for that 3rd place spot. But NAEast isn't the only region we had going on. Do have Brazil that also wrapped on up, and you can see Zeko and Santi Dead able to take that top spot, the duo coming out of Argentina. And you do see that little orange mark indicating qualification. There was no qualification in this spot for Brazil. PFZen and Nyx qualifying from week 2, but Zeko, somebody we've seen a lot of. And also shout out History and Fa, some players we've seen at the Katowice Royale. But I mean, the Argentinians as well, playing with a little bit farther distance from the Brazil server. Anytime they pop up there, got to give them the shout out. And Zeko in particular has been very consistent.
Absolutely, well deserved. And to think, you see players that have already qualified time in and time out all these weekends, making it back on these boards. That's respect right there. But with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a little chill moment right here and go to break with a couple minutes. So if you need to catch a breather like we do, we'll be right back with more games when we return.
Fortnite fam, welcome back. We are here with the Fortnite World Cup Online Open. I'm Zeke, aka Captain Shenanigans. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we do. All right, I take over the broadcast and crazy things happen. Now we are so excited to get back into games. We're just gonna get right back into it. I need Sundown. I need Monster D. Gentlemen, please join me here, babies. All right, I'm out of here. Bye.
Bye, Zeke. Thank you so much for that toss in. Yes, I mean, I'm ready to go. The matches are exciting immediately. As soon as we went to the break, I went back, checked the leaderboard, checked who was in live game, pulled up streams. I mean, let's get right into it, man.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's go ahead and keep up the momentum here with NA East because these games have been popping off. Not only that, like Europe was crazy, right? We haven't had a lull time today. It has been absolutely mad here on the board. So now hopping into LA East, back with XB. We had him earlier. We saw Funky Savage. We've seen these guys making it to endgame. What do you think about that leaderboard, though? It's talking about how the standings are breaking up the game right now.
Oh, I mean, it's so absurdly close. That battle for that third place spot, I mean, the top two have sort of separated themselves.
Points,
I mean, might be clear enough to be good in terms of pushing above. However, we've seen big pop-off games. We've seen 20-plus games right at the end, particularly in Europe, as XP wants to push through for the Siphon, but is also just pushing into his own stake. Took so much of his own damage there, and now he needs to be careful of that partner trying to cover. Here, the trap arm from above. Funky Savage picks up lemons there. That was the conversion. Siphon came out, but is that worth? I don't. I mean, I'll take every
It's a point. I was gonna say, yeah. That's the justifier right there. You don't ever want them to pop a revive, but to be fair, he should not have led that push. But with that, they get themselves a little point. Let's go and hop over to Triz and Clarity, another player. We've seen these guys making end games. We've seen them on the board on some qualifier days, not quite on finals, right? They just kind of got to push through, get over that last hump. But nice loadout, heavy sniper.
It's incredibly difficult to be the one at the top of the leaderboard on Sunday. That's why when we keep seeing these repeat names up there, we're stressing how big of an accomplishment that truly is, as this fifth circle is now closing. The rotations are coming out. 22 duos remaining, 42 players remaining, so only 2 solo riders out there. Everyone else has their battle buddy with them.
That's actually really interesting to note. I don't think it's you get to see that very often. Duos making it all the way through to the end here. But it's Triz and Claire. They're going to lay down some shots while on a rotation, so pretty aggressive, looking to get some attention on them. There's players all around them. As the Shadow Bomb comes out, he's out.
Yeah, crossing that no man's land through the middle is incredibly difficult, but the Shadow Bump giving you a little bit of that versatility, a little bit of mobility. That's why these players have valued it so much. Really interested to see how kind of it furthers the meta and how they're able to push the development. Heavy Snipe comes through, is able to get some shots through that wall, but was immediately replaced. Clarity now probably going to look to pressure, but also wants to reset. Zone closing in 5 seconds, so after that, we'll see where the players are going to be forced to move in a lot of variable vertical terrain as we're going up the mountain monster.
Yep, and I said it before, it's all about these new items. They're coming into play heavy. The Flint Knock, a great introduction to Fortnite, and this Shadow Bomb, another just really interesting development as far as the item goes on the scene right now. So I'm very happy to see how things continue to shake out. Got a little bit of Hogman and Fuzzy over here. You have Animal and Aspect, who have also been having a fairly okay day today. They've been popping off. They're not too far from being up there and punching their way through. Now looking at Snood, and I'm not sure if I know who this barcode is, but Snood's in it.
Probably Thryfo, considering that's Snood's typical duo. Haven't seen him up there as well, so that would be my initial guess. And also, 8 Boogie Bombs.
Oh my gosh.
8 Boogie Bombs? I mean,
did you know you can hold 8?
I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure that's the max count size. It might go up to 10, but I'm not sure the last time I saw somebody carry 8. And the funny thing is, too, he can just chain them then. Theoretically, he could keep people dancing for upwards of 20 seconds with that.
Which is insane, by the way. But just like that, you see the Boogie get its worth, right? You got that little knock right there. That's going to put him back in 100 HP as he is rotating across. And we talked about Animal and Sentinel boys. They're up in the high ground here.
Brush and Sizlucky on the mid-ground tarp as well. You have the Wombo Sports duo of Jack and Dimes on the low ground right now, all the way up on Ultimate High Ground. It's not Instinctual in Jesus Christ or Funky Savage. It's the RBK duo of J-Love and Germ controlling that high ground as we rotate back over Old Man Mountain. Aspect and Animal on the backside as now we're going down, which is going to force potentially movement from J-Love and Germ. And now we're going to hop on board with Brush and Sizlucky, the duo who was in second place, as we saw, needs to continue to keep pushing up there.
Yeah, second place is very, very, very pressure, right? Or a lot of pressure, I should say. There's a lot of pressure being in second place right now, the pressure to perform. But Brush and, oh my gosh, Brush and Sis have been doing it all day. They're actually going to catch Clarity here with a huge pump shotgun shot. They catch the jump on the wall too right there. It's a nice little easy edit for them. Yeah. As they manage to find themselves another point there.
Yeah, great work as we get closer to that first placement threshold. Don't forget top 15, top 10, top 5 as those placement barriers for +3, +2, +2 points. Victor Royale gets an additional 3 for 10 total cumulative, and then each elim is worth 1. And there's so many of the top 10 who were in this game. Again, don't forget, not quite live. We're grabbing the server replays, grabbing those highest point games, the one on the leaderboards, the one that had the impact and end up deciding who goes to New York as Hogman ends up pushing into the box. Trap gets armed on the other side, immediately closes the box off, edits off, and sends Nosh back to lobby. Brilliant from Hogman. Also puts him into that top 15 as Jelty takes down Jack.
That was so great. The discipline to not fire at the ramp when the trap was put down, because you don't want to be in in the poison dart range, and then just exit out the side, take the wall. Swift edit. The aggression right there. Very nicely done. Big play for him. Now take a look at the congestion here. We have Aspect and Animal who are looking to push through and punch their way here. Nice little hold here. What are they, on the mid-ground-ish, kind of lower or closer to the high spot though. They do already have 6 eliminations, so that's a lot of points right there. It looks like Tweakbo, if that was him, did go down right there. And now it's another little push right here. Tries to hit him with a nice little trap door. Animal doesn't quite connect though.
And we're into the top 10 now. 9 duos remaining as Gunblast does get dropped. We'll see if this duo opts to go down instead. Lal Sampa trying to just put shots from the high ground, but Aspect and Animal capitalizing there as they move to 8 elims. Germ and J-Love still controlling this high ground and is starting to pay off as Wellspar gets taken down. You have Hogman in the top right of your screen on the mid-ground tarp. You have Aspect in the bottom right of your screen on the low ground. Germ and J-Love on the left-hand side. Top to bottom, Stucky as well. Triz in there. Jelty from Mexico on that bottom floor with Brush, as well as Stucky gets trapped between the RBK boys. No, Germ goes down. Not going to get the point from that, but does get the conversion as the trap fires a second time. Hogman and Fuzzy all of a sudden in great position to take this one out as J-Love is forced to try and pressure him down, but Animal knocks down Brush and takes him out, capitalizing there. Hogman gets knocked, but J-Love falls all the way down. He's going to get self-eliminated and doesn't get the conversion over.
So does Fuzzy. Fuzzy comes down, go toe-to-toe with Send Animal at the end here. What's Animal going to do? He looks for the edit. Does he know? Fuzzy's now somehow on the low ground. This shotgun trade goes out. He doesn't quite connect. Fuzzy is all the way at the bottom layer here. Animal knows he has a health lead just off of all the tick that's happened so far. And now it's time to fully commit here for the shotgun. Animal connects to Fuzzy and takes that victory royale. That was Fuzzy and Hogman's game, especially after German Love went down in the high ground.
And you can literally see the point counter go up rather than Fuzzy getting those 2 elims and picking it up and getting the victory out and jumping up to 74 points. Animal and Aspect rack off a 21-point victory royale to get through to that and jump up to 69, putting them in striking distance of one of those spots. I mean, like we said, 75 was that third place barrier. Top 3 go to New York City. That's what you're gonna want to end at when all is said and done. You're looking at 735 for when the leaderboard is officially finalized and that goes through. So we're hitting it. We're getting towards the end as Circle 5 finally shows itself just to the east of Happy Hamlet.
Yeah, Happy Hamlet is not a bad place to be around. It could be worse if you're in that Polar Peak section. So you can see here the terrain is relatively okay as far as the holds go. And you see Nate Hill and Funk Bomber in this game taking over. Over here we have Nosh and Chaotic. And this is it. Bases are formed up. It seems to be somewhat of a smaller lobby though, right? You have to balance the amount of games that you have available. You see it done a lot on NA East and West. Players will try their best to basically W key games, push players aggressively, and that will kind of force a lower population in some of these end games.
Yeah, particularly in lobbies with about maybe a half hour to 15 minutes left. You can see a lot kind of sparser end games than you're usually used to. Typically players are all over each other at this point in time, but it makes for slightly different gameplay because there's a lot more rifle angles and also a lot less of these excess buildings to tuck in. You're generally more aware of where players are, but then you also end up with some just like out in the open rotation, like this. Gosh, just walking out in the open and picking up Hornet, and he has used no utility. He simply just, you know, they say you don't walk it right on in, and Nosh did, man. He could have flown, but instead, no problem there. We're hopping on over to Symphony and Branchies.
Probably to blame for that suppressed rifle, right? Like having that just low profile. No one knows he's firing at players. But Symphony, with the loud AR here, takes out a player there. That's going to be a nice drop right there. Symphony is on darn near 10 elims because there's a knocked player down there. Branchies has 2. He's looking for it. He doesn't want to give up this revive right now.
No, he hears it going off. Should know the player's on that side of the wall. The player should stick to get the commit. Does get the one wall replaced.
Oh, he knows.
He knows that player's there. He wants to try and get both of these now, as that 30 HP player is going to be forced back down again by the storm. Didn't look like he got a tag, so no credit. Oh no, he did get a credit.
Even if the storm takes him, he just finished him off.
Because he had gotten the tag when it ended up coming through. That's correct. Then you have Tickers over on the side there, Chaotic, putting the RPGs down from the high ground, and then Funk and Nate directly below him.
Yeah, this is a tight spot to be in for Funk and Nate. This is actually where you want to be, especially since they are on a decent side as far as the zone goes. It could be a lot worse. Out comes the early launch pad. We talk about how players tend to wait till last minute to pop the launch pad, but being, you know, playing it by the book isn't always the play. Sometimes being unorthodox with your decision making can play out to be better for you. In this case, they get way ahead of the storm here, and it's Nate Hill and Funk who have the high ground. So they're a little bit split here, but Funk is keeping control of the air game right now.
Yeah, very split. And Funk also pseudo exposed. They're not covering his sides, and now he's getting challenged, probably making the call out as Nate is trying to get back up to him, working his way up the side. Now joining up with his teammate as they try and pick the targets out of the air. Great tracking from Nate. Zex West getting knocked there out in the open, but you have to convert on these. Funk does it with that suppressed sniper rifle. He says, yep, you're not getting away, gonna get that. You have Hogman hanging around, playing baller, using that grappler to just try and stay just on the underside of these high grounds, not be a target as Nate Hill and Funk continue to try and pressure for elims as they're inside that top 15. He also gets RNG there as he continues to push into the zone.
Dude, we blinked and they lost the high ground to some rifters. So there it is. FaZe, Funk, and Nate Hill here losing their positioning. Nate Hill obviously just fell down the mountain, so this is going to be a weird one, but doesn't matter. Funk with the dominant position catches Tickers on the rotation. Now he's looking down to see if he can support his duo teammate. Can he get down in time? There it is. He finds another player here. Down comes the pressure overhead, looking for the side ramp. Doesn't quite find it, but some third party from above is going to put some pressure on Funk here.
Yep, did get knocked down into that box and picked up the elim. They're sitting on 4 total now. They're also inside the top 10, so that's 9 points coming out from Funk and Nate, and they were challenging up towards that leaderboard. They were one of those teams who was in a stone's throw of being top 3, as was Fuzzy and Hogman, as Hogman picks up Jay Leong, but Fuzzy is about to get converted over. Symphony picking up Nosh, Branchies picking up Chaotic. Now 12 players remaining, 8 duos left. Some disco going on over there as Nate Hill picks up Funky Savage and groups back up with Funk Bomb. Rum Dogs and Duo go up to the sky. Emperor trying to rotate through the high ground.
Someone rifted right in front of him. Oh, he decided, Symphony said, baller, rift, baller, dude, you got to go off this mountain. So decides that the baller is the play here. He's by himself. He has 11 eliminations. Branchies has 3 who's already out this lobby. That's 14 big points right there already for Symphony.
Yeah, and Hogman. You see Nate and Funk retook the high ground, but Hogman and Symphony are in that 1v1 on the low ground like you called out.
Can he turn it? And oh no, Symphony converts that Elim in the zone, allows him to escape from the storm there, and that's going to be a big elimination for him because I think that just basically throws Hogman out the lobby. He needed all those points that he can get. I don't think he gets the next threshold for placement at that point right there because there are still 6 duos left here.
No, needed those points, particularly if you're playing more passive and in the ballers. As you now see, Funk and Nate Hill have converted this up into 5 Elims as Zealous finally shuts down Symphony, and we get our top 5. Symphony missing out on those points, but Funk and Nate being pushed up to 80. We talked about it, how right before the standings check-in, 75 was that cutoff. You see Zealous Green opting to use the Shadow Bombs. Nate and Funk still from the high ground, just raining down shots, not even bothering to double tarp out, just single tarping, and now water falling their way down. Funk starting to challenge. They see Boof is below him. RTS on that low ground puts the RPG up towards it, and they're getting knocked down.
RTS just suddenly found the RPG right there. Players are falling down. Someone's coming down gliding. Can he get this connection? Oh, there was a redeploy right there, but it doesn't matter. Funk goes down. Can he get the shot? And it's Nate Hill who connects in the very last moments there. Even with Funk coming down, he landed a crucial shot there, and Nate Hill managed to follow up right afterwards.
85 points, so Funk took one angle. Once he had gotten him off, Nate then glided down, got the shotgun angle, hit the shot, was able to execute, and puts them 10 points above what that third place threshold was. But will it be enough? Again, the game's still wrapping up. Need to wait at least 35 minutes after they're done to make sure all of those lobbies end up going through. So a couple more games to call. Now you see Circle 4 closing in. We're jumping on board with I promise I'll do it once. But yeah, Icky. Just like that name, Icky.
Icky. All right, Icky here. Does not have a duo. Okay, so they do have 2 eliminations. That's going to be a third or a knock right there for Pyro Bambi. Someone saw him go down, insta-thirsted that. So Pyro Bambi is going to convert into a nice little elimination for him. That's going to be another point for this team. He's actually in a fairly great spot right now. He's got zone. He's got some extra heals. Oh, and somehow Bambi ended up over there when his teammate Happy's over to the left.
Yep, just split from each other in a moment when you don't want to be split. As we said, these are the very last games. They're the ones who will be deciding who goes to New York, who gets the higher share of the prize pool, and who is one of the best in Fortnite Battle Royale. And Penn already sent back to lobby as Circle 4 is closing in now. And we'll see where that first overlapping zone is in Monster. Because we're so far north, we could see some off the edge of the map shenanigans.
Yeah, sometimes that does happen, and more importantly, the geysers, right? The geysers can really just shake up how things happen in the end game. You can't build on them necessarily. They can really cause some weird end zones if they end too close to them. But just looking over at the map, you can see we're just kind of hovering here as the zone is playing itself out. Vinny is still alive in this game with his counterpart rotating on the bottom portion of the map here. And I like that, right? They're super covered. You never want to be down in the low grounds, but hey, sometimes it can work in your benefit in situations like this where no one can see you. It's free rotation.
Yeah, you're able to get into that zone super early and don't have to expend a ton of maps tunneling all the way through. And they can also get some decent angles. As you see in the bottom right-hand corner, Storm is going to start moving in just under 10 seconds. And a bunch of the duos will be forced to move over that water and back over towards the river as the zone does close in now. So you can see some players opting to launch pad right away, get in there. That's those little orange triangles. But Icky is just looking to find an angle because he knows this player wants to rotate, knows this player has to rotate through here.
Yeah, and don't forget, guys, if we are watching some of your favorite content creators, maybe someone who's underrated that you think deserves more of some of the spotlight, right? Use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup, guys. Get your clips out there. Shoot them over to Sundown. Shoot them over to @FortniteGame. As long as you are using the Fortnite World Cup hashtag, we will be able to keep track of it and see what's going on in the community. Get active on places like Twitter. So, Icky, we're still following Icky's story here. Things are developing for him. Last we saw, he had zone here, but now he's got to make a big rotation. Can he hold his own on his own here? Yes, he can, as he catches Happy. So it all comes full circle. The Pyro team falls to the hands of Icky here.
Yeah, was able to get that one and close on out, moving up to 63 points. Now we're into the top 15 as well, so that's 3 place of points on the board. You see Tfue pinned against the side over there. You have Ceci and Trappy, and he's also over by the supply drop, so probably going to draw a little bit of unnecessary attention. Needs to be careful here. Cloak is still in the match as well. That's 79 points sitting for Tfue. They're a little bit separated. Have to be careful because, like we talked about, we already saw Nate Hill and Funkbomb were able to push up to 85. They have to at least crack towards that. Maybe the Tempo boys dropped enough, but it's going to take a great effort. But Tfue, no surprise to clutching up. Neither is Cloaksy as the rotation comes out, Monster.
Yeah, and they're way ahead of the zone here, but here it is. Things are starting to move. They're going to actually use the launch pad instead of the redeploy. So that could possibly mean that Cloak is limited on mobility. So Tfue and Cloak now have to land and choose a spot. Where are they going to choose? They see a lot of players right there. He says, you know what? No, we're going to get ahead of the zone here and land by the resources and get on it. So now that they have the grounds here, look how they're raining down fire from the previous players. They need as many points as they can pretty much muster up. You talked about it. We saw Brush and Sizz. They were doing a great job. Tfue is going to catch a huge elimination right there on the high ground. That wasn't even as bad of the win. He kind of snatched that one from him.
He really did. Hitting 2 quick headshots there. 66, takes it over. Frico gets ticked down while Cease is able to convert onto Armand. Was another one of those duos right up towards the top. And again, this lobby is going to probably decide one of those 3 pairs. All of these guys were towards the top, trying to push and match what was Nate Hill and Funkbomb's final moment as Cease picks up another conversion. Zexro also in here trying to get a piece of the prize as we're into the top 10. Turkey Lips picks up Shaky, so he's going to be out of the running. Zexro also ends up going down. That's 2 top 10 teams being eliminated as Ceci converts there and starts dropping Dynamite down into that low ground. You see one player in the Shadow Bomb hopping his way through there. Trappy trying to find whatever shots he can. Tfue rotating down underneath. You have Luminosity Gaming's Tyler and Lenant also in there, 2 players who qualified in week 2 as the chaos ensues. Everybody wants to hit that top 5. Everyone wants the victory royale. Everyone wants to go to New York City. Cloaksy is down. It is all on the back of Turner now. 9 duos remaining. 13 players left. He's sitting on 82 points. Needs at least 3 to match Nate Hill and Funk, not including Cease and Elevate, who are also challenging for this lobby. It's so close, Monster.
And he's so close to getting some more placement points. This is it. These are the final moments. Another player drops down. He's getting pressure. This is not what you want. Tfue has to make a big decision here. He knows there's a team of 2 above him. Misses the shot. Someone lands on him with the Shadow Bomb.
You heard him for a half second. You saw him for a half second. And Tfue gets pumped. That'll be it. They won't catch Nate Hill and Funk. Will Cease be able to do anything about it? Will Vinny be able to pop off? His partner's already down, but there's 7 duos left. 10 players remaining, and Ceci and Trappy are running the high ground right now.
They are these teams' worst nightmare. All of these guys are so close to making it to New York City, but Trappy and Sexy are just shutting it down. This is just their game right now. Down goes Outlet, and they are so loaded. They have all the mats in the world right now.
6 duos remaining. You have Colin, Frags, you have Tyler, the Parallel Boys, and Ceci and Trappy.
Still in.
Yeah, you do see Vinny down over there. Vinny might be able to pull off something monumental, but Colin Frags goes down. Vinny goes down as we say that. Trappy and Ceci just raining down fire from above. Turkey Lips trying to take advantage of it as the Parallel Boys pick up Tyler 15, 2v2v1, but Turkey Lips takes advantage of Gage, picks him up there, now trying to track for FC, but gets blocked out of the zone, needs to get the edit around the side. FC tracking him, and FC finds him. Ceci dropping down, and Ceci and Trappy close it out, pick up the last elim in the victory royale for 65 points. Not going to be enough, but what's enough for them is playing spoiler. Ending Tfue and Cloak's fantastic run, dropping Cease, which might have been enough, and sometimes that's all you gotta do.
That's how it is. Every single player in every game can impact the way things kind of shape out. And just like that, you know, just catch the wrong lobby. That was such a stacked lobby to see Cease and teams like Zextro. Tfue was in there. They were so close to taking it. But we're hopping in with Ninja now. We know Ninja and Reverse were super close as well. And even if they don't quite make it on through, 66 points, they've had quite the running today, Sundown.
Yeah, great showing from Ninja and Reverse. And they only get better every week. Super excited to see what this duo can do, but they're not out of it yet as well. Like we said, 66 points and a ton of points on the table. 19 duos remaining, 35 players left, potentially 33 other players to eliminate, 10 placement points on the board. They can do this because, like we said, we've seen several teams get 20-plus point games, like quite literally just turn games around, get big elimination chains. So anything can happen here. Ninja catches Kai CS. That's a huge shot. Ninja just known for connecting. Yeah, great work there, getting it done in the clutch, finding Kai on the rotation, and they want to keep pushing forward, getting whatever resources they can there, covering up, topping off 140 builds from him there, and now they're trying to find this other player. They see the campfire, they want the pressure. Pond is in a world of hurt, but Binny trying to take advantage of that, getting some great shots with that infantry rifle as we rotate on over to the opposite side of the storm zone with Aspect and Animal also up there, sitting on 69 points. We saw they were the beneficiary of that clutch finish right at the end. And again, on the leaderboards, we're jumping into these matches, the ones with the red dots. If they were on there, we want them. The high impact ones, the ones that decide who goes to the final, who gets a chance to compete for part of that $30 million prize pool, because these are the best Fortnite players in the world. Monster.
You know, it's also interesting, the loadout preference. EU, loaded with boom bows. North America, not necessarily boom bow heavy, so even playstyles differentiate from region to region. So if you're not catching up or watching all of the region, guys, I encourage you guys, stick around because you don't know what you're gonna see. Things are constantly evolving. This Aspect just slaps Grand Mets out of the sky, straight out of the sky. That's a big point for him. That puts him up to 70. This is a team that can also pull a 20-point lobby out of nowhere, out of the hat.
They can make it happen very easily. Like we said, the 10 placement points still on the table, 1 elim, and a lot of players in here. And those interactions are only going to matter more as we get down to the end. We saw Grove and Scientist, another team who was in that top 10. Forward GG, another team who was in the top 10 on the last check-in. This is the game that decides it. You see Jojo Pyun going down there from Frantic Heavens. 18 duos remaining, 31 players left. If you're just joining us, hope your Sunday's been fantastic. These are the absolute final matches for NA East, the ones that decide who gets a spot in New York City. I'm Sundown, joined by Monster D-Face. I mean, this Fortnite action has been so good.
Today's games have been like some of the greatest we've seen. Every single region really bringing it to the table here. You have players, some of your favorite players are still alive in this lobby. I see Ninja hiding down in the cluster that is the edge of the divot. We saw Forward GG, they were in 10th place. Somehow both of these guys are also still in this lobby. Are they gonna dethrone Animal and Aspect, who can also knock on the door? Anything can happen here as these players are looking to battle against one another in this next move in zone. This is it. This is the first move in zone where things start to crumble. We talked about Boombo play, a little bit of that up there in the high ground.
Oh, he got the knock.
He actually got the knock. That was Heavens who goes down.
So he got the knock because he waited to rift too long at the edge of the storm, and the storm ends up ticking him over. So Illust and Pap, great play from here. You see Zill trying to make a push from under the divot up into the near side of the high ground as Maze rotates around him. We're then going to rotate on down into the divot. Got a couple of players playing marbles on the low ground, but all of those boulders are slightly chipped out, and players are starting to take shots. Reverse loses his. Maze picks up Zill. In fact, confirms it. Artsy gets another elim as well as we get closer into that top 15. Reverse and Ninja going to require a monumental effort, but they're no strangers to clutching up. Top 17. Brush gets knocked, and that's a huge impact one. They're the players sitting on 86 points in second place. If you can deny them, it's a chance to claw up and pass them as well. B-Hegs gets the Saints, waiting for those conversions to come through. 16 duos left. Ninja, great edits, constantly peeking around, drops down into the box, and he gets it. Maze goes down. High impact, 4-point swing there. 72 points now for Ninja and Reverse.
This is what we talk about, how anything can happen. They went from like almost no eliminations to now sitting at 7 eliminations, and they just broke placement threshold, so things are looking up for the team right here. There's someone right underneath. That's right. Ninja uses his good tracking skill right there. Almost catches the trade. They actually trade out a ton of damage. Can't keep up with his interface right now, but just know Clearly, he's in a dangerous or desperate situation right here.
Sub 50 HP right now. I'm trying to keep track based off of the ticks. I know that UI is an update, is able to get it, needs to hit these edits. It stays underneath. He needs to find a siphon as soon as he can get room. Does get the edit. No, needs to hit the edit. Needs to stay up with the zone. Looking for the player. Finds it, 77. Can he get the swap? Gets walled off. Edits back. Looking. This is so good from Ninja. Gets the siphon up right there. That's not his actual knock, though, so no siphon coming through. Still in desperate need of HP, but he knows this player is around. Looking for the baller, looking for anything, but he has tons of math. Edit on the side.
99 and catches the ramp, but he gets clapped from the side here. And the trade out happens. It's Native who catches the knock, but Reverse trades the knockout. And now it's Reverse who's left to get more points in his lobby. He's using his Storm to his benefit here. He doesn't want this guy to come through. This is time to get on offense. Here it is. Reverse looking for the pump shot. Can he hit it?
Top 11. He needs to just wait it out. Top 10 now, so that's 2 more points. 75, but no.
Set it down by...
But that's Mad Scientist, which means him and Grove are still in the match, and there they are on top of each other. They had the opportunity. A great 180 flick, and that's Sis Lucky going down as well. Mad Scientist hopping on his back saying, do everything I can, Grove. You carried me earlier today. I'll do the rest. I'll be the Mad Scientist. Get into the zone. The player is just editing him out. Instead, they punch through. Less than 50 effective HP. No! The run ends. The Cinderella run for Scientist and Grove is over. Week 2 qualifiers. Crims and Spades on the high ground. The 2 forward GG players on the mid tarp. Spoof is cute. Janik and B-Hegs all on the low. Spades in the top right. Spoof in the bottom right. As Janik goes down. 4 duos remaining, 6 players left, Monster.
For every Elim that doesn't go to forward GG, their placement spot is slipping away. They are in top 10, so they need placements, they need Elims. All of this matters. Ramen is Sexy Hero is getting pressured right now, but it's Crims and his duo, they're just doing so good. They already qualified, they're yoinking these points as forward goes down to them as well. Here it is, Sundown, the final moments.
They're looking for it. You see Spades and Crims, they want to close it out. They want to show that it was no fluke. They're just as good. They want as much of the prize pool as they can get, and Spoof wants to come up a clutch. The 59 points won't be enough for a qualifying spot, but it's all about the glory, making the plays, doing it on the main stage, and getting yourself a little bit of extra cash, but instead, Spades closes it out with the poison trap.
And we still just talk about really quickly, the way those edits were working earlier, he was denying the farm because he was swinging past the edits. What a game.
I mean, it's just the smallest amount of trades. We talk about how every interaction matters. Sometimes the interactions of the other players also matter. So nuts. Zeke, I mean, you're the perfect one to break that down.
Folding before us is history here, guys. So looks like we are hopping into a match now, boys, and it's going to be Thorny from Team Bolt, who's going to be the first player we set eyes upon.
Thorny and Potent sitting right up top up here. 23 seconds until this circle makes a move.
Yep,
3 eliminations.
His duo here is Potent. Couple eliminations. This is where you want to be for a game right here. So let's take a look at the player congestion. Close to 50 players alive in the half in and half out zone here, Dr. Lupo. And what a shot right there. Thorny lays down UMod.
Pays the price on rotation there. Like you said, 47 players, 27 duos. We're so far away from placement points. It's actually kind of scary to think about because we're moving to the half and half zone. You're going to have a lot of pressure from everybody on rotation, which means this is kind of one of the most, look at the arrows. Look at the arrows on the top left side of the screen. There's so many players in such a tight space. It's scary to think just how many opportunities there are for people to pick up elims. You almost have to wait until you see other people getting you don't from the game.
I was gonna say you don't want to be the guy to start the battle.
You don't want to be the first guy. You don't want to be the last guy because both of those players get punished. Right down below, Hart, Zypha getting the knockdown, pushing on in here. A little bit of SMG spray. That compact, very useful up close.
I like what he's doing here. Going for the thirst real quick. Gets all that health here. And that's the thirst, man. He got a little Elim, jumps down. They have plenty of resources to work with now. And E11 Hart looking good here with this duo Zypha. It's not over yet. There's another duo here close by as they start laying down shots. He actually gets traded out. Can he big clutch this? He did put down a lot of shots here, Duff Lupo.
Top left corner, you see Dobby was the one that picked that one up. Does get the elimination there. Not sure if they're going to be able to pick up their duo. Zypha going for the Elim. See down below. We saw on the top of the leaderboard earlier on your screen, Ninja in a baller right there, 4th place. Meanwhile, opposite side of the circle, his duo reverse actually on rotation at the same time.
Oh no, they managed to split up here, Dr. Lupo. What is going to unfold for this dynamic duo here? Reverse 2K off to defend himself here.
I want to point out super quick, that point number on your screen, obviously a bug. I actually do think, though, that is how many points Reverse has in Arena right now. 1,696.
Yeah, probably.
I think Ninja is about 1,500, which is crazy. There's some of the highest point counts we've seen.
Reverse. We call that grind right there.
So you got to get to it. Reverse seeing a chance, knocking some players down out of the sky. Does get one knockdown there. Meanwhile, the other redeploy kicks in, flying across a quick 57 shield tag. Reverse using the Shadow Bomb here to try and make his way across to his duo. Then just somewhere over here towards the edge of the circle. The baller right
probably
there.
still in the baller, yeah. And this is why Shadow Bombs are so good, guys. As long as he is in the air suspended, the timer is not ticking down, so he can, virtually stay in the air and stay in Shadow Bomb for. And you move so fast in Shadow Bomb, allows you to get all the way across. And it's Ninja who's going to come now to the aid of his teammate here as Reverse is, again, battling on his own here. Ninja just floating around in the baller now. Gave it up. He actually gave the mobility. Loved that decision making right there.
Excellent call. Sharing of resources in a moment like that. Because Ninja's baller's full HP.
He's good.
There's no reason for him to even have the launch pad, especially if Reverse is in a situation where maybe the Shadow Bombs aren't going to save him. He's got to put down the launch pad and make a play.
That there could be a defining moment, but it's Sublime who eats a Reverse 2K shotgun to the hip as he was distracted by Ninja's baller there.
Potentially comms Ninja saying, hey, there's a guy right next to me. He's not engaging yet, but he's very distracted. Pop the window open and take the shot. Ninja taking a little bit of damage out here in the storm. One quick tick there, and the baller is at about 60 total HP, probably 120 HP right now, rotating around underneath. No reason to push too aggressively up top or out in the open on anybody. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you will get punished.
He's using his vision, right? His safety is being able to look around. He gives Reverse the comms. Reverse goes underneath that. What's Reverse going to do? He's going to take that battle there.
Almost imagining a trap play as Reverse could potentially put down the spike trap, drop him into it. Ninja does see a player in front. Don't think he's going to engage. There's too many opportunities up, above, behind. You see Frey in the feed picking up a pair of elims. 15 players left. We're at 10 duos. The second step for placement points does kick in there. One guy, another set does finish that elim. Reverse picks off JF12.
Oh, and that teamwork right there. Seeing that Reverse is laying on fire, jumps out and adds to the pressure from the side there. That one guy goes down to Ninja as he discards the baller and comes out with maximum materials here. He also has the Rift to go.
Mobility's still in play. Does still have the baller. Reverse 4 eliminations. Ninja with 1.
Huge edit.
Drop in. The edit. The trap play with the shotty gets up another one. 5 eliminations, 6 total. Ninja takes a shot there, 110 HP, 2 minis, quite a bit of ammo left, 139 builds, but that's all the mobility in the inventory. They're gonna have to double air and take the high ground. Preemptive trap because they know there's somebody else. Heart is up with them. Does drop down, takes the fall damage. Reverse and Ninja have the high ground right here. Fighting players flying in from above, still a couple left. Quick shotgun shot, a miss as Reverse does follow through as well. Ace PGH goes down. That is yet another elimination. 15 points up until now. Frey, Wootson, Props, Zypha all on the low ground. Ninja and Reverse in the dominant position. Top down from above. Tons of materials. 3 players and 1 stuck outside the storm.
This is it. This is their game to win right here. He's going in for the point. Goes all the way in. Does not leave a point on the board as they secure a hefty elim right there that gets a victory royale for Ninja to kick things off. That is the catalyst for him being on the board there.
I have to say, aggressive right there at the last second. They didn't have to do it, but like you said, every single point counts. We saw the tiebreakers for some of these come down to the last second, and so you need those points. Quick note, by the way, Be Yourself and Pepe, please. It is actually 72 hours in Vivid.
Yep.
So if you see those names out there on the leaderboard, keep an eye on that. Boys from Liquid trying to make a stance out here. I think the name swap is kind of a defensive measure in case you end up as the same game as
in their game.
As somebody that may potentially try and push you if they know that you're in there, that kind of thing. So they it's
too much clout, man.
It's like pocket sand.
Too much clout.
Diversion.
Yeah, but so far it's looking really good here for Mr. Pepe, please, I'll still address you like that, as they're raining down fire here because they got some shots there and a nice little knock right there. So the Liquid boys are holding high ground here. Elevate and Cease also really high on the board. This is a congested lobby as far as our players go.
All the way to the top. Posick and Middle down here at the bottom.
Oh, we saw them pop off. They had some good weekends here as well. So this is looking good right here as Niddle puts down Lol on the rotation right there, and they have a baller to go ahead and get on out. This is one of the steepest hill climbs I've ever seen. I don't think we've ever seen anyone have to go straight up the lava mountain.
The baller, honestly, probably the most clutch thing to have in this moment.
In that situation.
Because, man, no concern with trying to make your way all the way up, unless somebody decides to beam you out of the baller. But in this case, Niddle able to rotate without any issues. About 80 HP left in the baller. Look at the spread all the way up. Actually, look, bottom left corner of the screen. Reverse and Ninja are in this game as well on the ultimate low ground. Crayola zone, Ezreal all the way up top.
Yeah, we got Liquid here. Again, we talk about Liquid being here. They're in the center of this chaos here, and they have a dominant position. Oh, it's Cease and Elevate who are over to the side too, not too far. This is a battle that's going down right here. We got a little bit of a box war here as Elevate and Cease are seemingly on the hunt right now. Seems like they're looking for the aggro play here, and it's the edit, Dr. Lupo.
Those quick edits, even double layer edits, sometimes seem like they don't even exist for how fast these players play. Quick knockdown there. Looked like an attempt at a boogie, but it did not connect with anybody. Meanwhile, like you said, Tom, 72 Hours and Vivid, my apologies, are right smack dab in the middle. They only have to edit windows in a couple sides, and assuming the pressure from Felix and Timber just up above them stops, they have shots of people, but now that they're forced to rotate, Nate TV right in the middle. Here's Ninja. Erupt. Naive all the way up top. Day right next to him. A number of players kind of box up right next to each other. At this point, waiting for the opening, potentially a shadow bomb play or a push into the geyser. Stuck underneath a structure, kind of forced to forced into horizontal movement. Not enough.
That actually works for him in this situation, right? Because it makes so that he doesn't have to go all the way in the air, expose himself too much.
Here's the problem. Right now in the box that he's in, there's a zip line that literally is going through the top corner. If someone swings through there, he's exposed in an instant. Anybody could laser that down. Or he uses it as just a free exit. Does get a knock there. Hopefully, Reverse can apply pressure at the same time. They can go for another set of elims up top. They do have that knock, and the Storm's moving.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to convert on this knock right here. He did get it. He's on the hunt. Reverse sticking by. It's Posick and Niddle who are so close to them. Cease, Elevate have a little bit more elevation. Liquid's in the baller. What a stacked lobby here,
The list of names, I'm losing my mind.
Just from seeing the names, you know, the tension is rising as it's Cease who's taking on one of the Liquid boys here. Okay. It was BM Nate TV, so it was Nate TV who ended up rolling through. But we saw the names there. It's just so much going on here.
If you're watching this at home, whatever channel you're on, go get your neighbors, your friends, your dog, get them in here, because this game is absolutely ridiculous with names. Elevate Cease, you've got tons of players
Innocence and Ghost Assault still in this game as well. So for Controller Legends on the scene right here. Reverse 2K looking for the big push here. It's going to be Holly who goes down.
Ninja does get the knock.
That's going to convert into a lot of health that he needs, right? He needs a shield.
Was able to actually sneak underneath, grab the baller, even though it's relatively broken. That's going to turn into a 100 HP, 100 shield. Ninja here in 1 second. Reverse takes a big shot. 90. Goes for the follow through. Does get Innocence. That elimination is big, up to 28 points. 7 duos remaining, 8 players total. Niddle and Posick have the top down on everybody, but that branch they're on, there's one spot that is only one layer. If someone spots that, that's a forced drop on them. But down here at the bottom, Reverse Ninja still in this. Elevate is out, which means Cease is left all by himself to try and make a play here. Rotating around the outside, a little bit of a helmet issue there in the spectate client. Sorry about that. Promise it's still attached.
All right, Niddle actually falls off the high ground as Hogman and Secret Fuzzy are going for the top, battling it out with Posick here. There's just a lot going on. Cease now, back over to Cease, who's somehow found himself in the lowest levels, battling uphill here.
At this point, because the replays, you have to remember a little bit behind what's actually happening. Oh, and Cease pays the price. The Ninja's pump shotgun. 38 points for the duo, still feels extremely good. I think at that moment they were in first. Ninja sliding all the way down on the outside for BY's trying to pick up that. Too aggressive.
Does make it back. He's back in the zone here. It is a 2v2. Niddle and Posick with the ultimate high here. Reverse. Niddle falls down, goes for the 1v1. But it's 2 players here. What's Reverse going to do? Steps into the storm, Dr. Lupo. Is he going to be able to connect?
A big hit right there. Both players are one pump at this point. Comms potentially saying, hey, if you're going to go for it, now's the time to push. Ninja in a 1v2 from underneath. It could take one shot on each. This could be a back-to-back victory royale for Ninja and Reverse, putting them far away in the lead ahead of everybody else. Underneath the tree, look for a couple shots trying to drop them down and force an engagement. One pump from Niddle potentially. There it is, the shot from above, and he cannot convert. Niddle, Posick, bringing home a victory royale.
Massively played. You know, they had that high ground. They did battle it out, right? Ended up defeating Hogman and Secret Fuzzy for the high.
I was concerned with the branch that they were on. I believe it was maybe,
at one point it was held on to nothing.
One piece. Yeah. One piece, which means they would have been forced down into an engagement in potentially one of the worst ways.
That's
like
right.
I said, NA East. Literally, I'm standing. I'm so excited for these games because there are so many big name players in here putting on just putting on a clinic. Turkey Lips, Outlet. I bring this up every time. Did you know that Outlet edited a corner out of a box one time? This was many moons ago. Double barreled me in the face. Felt very bad. Yeah.
Felt bad.
Yeah,
hey, but you gained his respect.
He
that
sent
day.
me back to the lobby. I'm still mad about it.
It stings just a little bit.
Well, that's why I'm here, and he's actually playing.
Leave the playing to the good guys, eh?
Turkey Lips, one of the best mains of hair I've ever seen in my entire life.
Got it going on.
All the way up top.
Yeah, they're in a good spot. So it's another look at the volcano. Earlier today, Golden and I saw nothing but snow and dismal whites. Now it looks like we got a little bit of color over here. We're in the vibrant side of the land. The volcano terrain here.
Turkey Lips picking off Resolve. First steal in there. 15 points for this duo, but they're not the ultimate high ground. Upsilon, number of other players. You see the right side of the screen, Saf, which means Zayt, if still in the game.